What's up guys, this is your favorite fanfic YouTuber, the Fanfic Majesty, and welcome to another amazing video. You can follow me on Patreon for exclusive stories. 5 AG, Chapter 101 Marine Attacks, Spider-Man Cafe. Rapeseed Port. On the Fast Swan, one of Mr. Two's men rushed over. Lord Patty Bigbo, Lord Von Clay, a marine ship has been spotted in the port ahead. Do we need to avoid it? Xiao Feng looked at it and frowned. Damn it. It's actually marine, is it Black Presentina? What are they doing here? Although Xiao Feng's ship bears the logo of Baroque Works, he is also a pirate with a bounty, so he can still avoid marine when encountering him. Von Clay roared. Pull the ship over. Just kill her spirit. The boy looked panicked and explained. Not just Dark Cell Tina, but also Marine Mad Dog Smoker. This Colonel Marine will bite anyone he catches. Kang's mind was filled with questions. Damn it, Smoker and Tina. In the Alabasta incident, wasn't there only Smoker? At this time, Von Clay also looked a little constipated. He could ignore Tina, but the Mad Dog Smoker couldn't. The shadow of a famous tree cannot be accepted. However, after all the words were said, it was a bit embarrassing for Feng Clay to change his mind. At this time, Kang observed the situation carefully and said, then stop at the lower reaches of the Shengduo River. There is nothing to deal with such a sexual person who does not understand the ways of a transvestite. With an expression of, you understand me, Xiao Feng took the step and waved. Since Dabo said so, let's give them some face today. Next time we meet, let them know how powerful the she-males are. With that said, Xiao Feng transformed into a passerby with a pockmarked face, picked up Kang and walked towards the R***** flowers. Fellow Taoist, let's go and have a good meal. After hearing this, Kang was not happy. Xiao Feng, how can you use it to leave? Of course it is the dance of the S*********. Let everyone understand that the S******** is the wave of the times. After hearing this, Xiao Feng was extremely excited. This is a like-minded partner. He gave a thumbs up and said with tears in his eyes, Dabo. These words deeply touched my heart. So, a pock-marked man with a big face and a wretched Popeye danced hand in hand towards the port. There are both men and women in this world. But transvestites are neither men nor women. The two of them swaggered under Marine's nose. Dasky couldn't bear to look at the black lines on his head, and the veins on Smoker's head were about to burst. As expected of a straight man. But I just like the way you can't stand it and can't get rid of me. Kang felt the power of the dance of the demon and felt that his combat effectiveness had improved a lot. These days, Kang has mastered the mermaid body technique and fishman karate, and he has also thought of a name, Yellow Monster boxing technique. Not long after the two demons left, Tina got off the boat, followed by Crouching Dragon and Phoenix. Kang would be stunned if he saw these two people. Forget about Iron Fist Hobody, why did Django become a sailor? Wasn't he arrested and sent to branch 153? Fortunately, there is no Beiji Keluo behind Tina, otherwise Kang would be scared to death. Because Beiji Keluo is an out-and-out potential pirate in Kang's heart. If Crow comes to the Grand Line, with his brain and cruel and forbearing character, who knows what kind of bloody storm will be caused. Port side. At this time, Smoker frowned when he saw Tina coming. Although he knew this was Tina's territory, he didn't expect her to come so quickly. Smoker took a puff of his cigar and said calmly, Da Si Chi, order everyone to disperse and look for traces of the straw hats. Dasky glanced at Colonel Tina who was about to arrive, but he didn't dare to give the order. Boss, are you so arrogant in other people's territory? Tina's voice came quickly. Smoker, do you think Tina is just air? Tina is very angry. You are out of bounds in law enforcement. Smoker knew he was in the wrong and snorted. Then. He just stared at this friend and remained silent. I'm just looking at you. Do you agree or not? Tina's chest was heaving up and down, maybe she couldn't bear the sight, so she snorted coldly. Let's go. It's not too much to treat Tina to a drink, right? Tina is curious, what are you doing here? Is it for the Buggy Pirates? After Tina finished speaking, she walked straight towards the city. What the hell Buggy, Lousy wants to arrest the Straw Hats. Smoker Kaido. Although he was unhappy, he had no choice but to follow closely. When Dusky saw Smoker following Colonel Tina, he couldn't help but feel the 8 trigrams fire blazing. The spread gesture behind Smoker's back was completely broken, and the stupid Daskelang didn't see it. Idiot, Dasky, Lousy will drop your glasses sooner or later. West Blue Shore. Buggy climbed up from the beach and saw rolling waves. Sweat broke out on his forehead and he quickly moved back a few steps. Our future 4 emperors are just one step away from death. Damn it, a cannonball hit this place. Straw Hat Luffy. Cool D. Chicken. It's all your fault. At this time, on the shore where Buggy was, a ship made of half white candles and half wood had just docked. This kind of ship driven by melted wax can only be that person's ship. At this time, Mr. Three's voice came from the ship. Ms. Golden Week, take care of these two idiots. I'll go to the Spider-Man Cafe and wait for news. Mr. Three jumped off the boat. At this time, he was covered with bandages, but he had a digital hairstyle on his head. The head can be broken and the blood can flow, but his hair cannot be messed up. When Mr. Three got off the boat, he found a man dressed as a clown with a red nose standing on the shore, looking at him with strange eyes. It's damn good that other people are blind. Next to him was Mr. 4, who was as big as a bear. The edible devil fruit is the latest product of Vegapunk's research on blood factors. I don't know where Mr. 4 got this pet from. I wonder if this guy would shed tears if he knew the truth. His pet's name is Rasu, and he is a gun dog or dog gun in the form of a dachshund after eating the dog fruit. Mr. 3. Red nose. A clown. Wearing a pirate hat, can such an idiot also become a pirate? He came to the Spider-Man cafe alone, wanting to ask the boss to give them another chance. This group doesn't care who Kang is. ... They were actually the second to arrive. It's so funny. Times 2. Kang silently ordered a glass of water but did not drink it, and just observed everyone silently. Mr. 4 doesn't know martial arts, he just has supernatural powers. After a good meal, Kang and Xiaofeng took a boat to the West Island in high spirits. Dancing the S******** dance, Kang and Xiaofeng, two black and white swans, entered the cafe. In their opinion, the person who can wear the same clothes as Mr. 2 is not a S****** or something else. Kang looked at Lasu with a very ambiguous look, which made the puppy very uncomfortable and grinned at Kang. The first to come to the coffee shop was the Little Pig Super Fat group, Mr. 4 and his partner Ms. Merry Christmas. Ms. Merry Christmas is a person with abilities who ate the animal-type mole fruit. The two passed side by side, and then looked back at each other in unison. The reason why the third brother didn't dare to come in was because Xiaofeng was chasing him. Soon after, the pointer pointed to 8 o'clock. Xiaoju Super Fat group seemed to be very familiar with Xiaofeng and they started chatting. Kang secretly glanced at the window of the coffee shop. A guy with a big number 3 on his head was shivering at the window. Buggy. Why is this guy with a 3 on his head? It's so G funny. At this time, Mr. 1 dragged 3 dying guys to the cafe. This is the walking 100 million Pele. Their target, Spider-Man Cafe. A wave crashed onto the rocks, splashing water in front of the two of them. There are both men and women in this world. But transvestites are neither men nor women. What he didn't know was that Xiaofeng was chasing him not because he failed to complete the task, but precisely because he completed the task and wanted to kill people and silence them. Patty Big Bo, Von Clada, sir. Save us. The third brother thought that he could still convince the boss with his brains and eloquence, but he didn't expect that there was no boss here. If you get this, will you be scolded? Chapter 102 Kang sets off, Straw Hat arrives. Secure Asset Portal, your trusted source for secure and informative digital assets. Register with your real phone number and get bonus just for registering. Try for free. The person coming is Mr. 1, whose real name is Daz Bonus, a person with the ability to cut the fruit quickly, Blade Man, Sword Man. He can turn any part of his body into a blade, and he can also make his body as hard as steel. It doesn't matter anything else, the key is that he is still bald. What grade? Same hairstyle as me. At this time, Xiaofeng heard a familiar voice, looked back, and suddenly became angry. What did he see? The 3 confidants who followed the path of the S***** were beaten until their noses were bruised and their faces were swollen, and they were instantly angry. What do you mean, Mr. 1? Do you want to fight? Mr. 1 disagrees, the higher the number, the stronger the strength. 2 still want to challenge 1. Then call me brother. HMPH, they turned out to be your men. They behaved strangely. I thought they were spies from somewhere. Boom. Xiaofeng was not used to it, and regardless of Ms. Merry Christmas's obstruction, he rushed out in an instant, and the two of them fought together. Xiaofeng's moves are weird, but his physical skills are very good, otherwise Kang wouldn't be able to copy the S***** boxing technique. Mr. 1 and Xiaofeng fought several times, and actually had the upper hand in some physical skills, and Xiaofeng kicked him away. Seeing this, Kang yelled, the way of a human being and monster is not allowed to be blasphemed. He actually has a bald head. He is not a good person at first glance. Just when Kang was about to take action, an arm grabbed Kang. This person is clearly the proprietress of the coffee shop, Ms. 2 Fingers, Zala. Ms has 2 fingers and a blue shaggy hair. She is accustomed to walking with her waist twisted. She is a person with the ability to eat thorn fruits and can make thorns grow on any part of her body. Although Ms. S fingers were very sexy after the cross-dressing, Kang's imagination was so big that he instantly shuddered. Zala said, Mr. 4, you hold down Mr. 2, Mr. 1, I will stop it. After Mr. 1 broke the wall and came outside, he got up in embarrassment. Being treated so disrespectfully by his subordinates in public made him a little angry, and he became murderous. He stretched out his finger and activated the fruit ability. At this time, M's S2 fingers appeared in time and stretched out her hand to stop Mr. 1. Okay, Mr. 1, if you take action and delay the boss's plan, the boss will be chasing you, Mr. 0. After hearing this, Mr. 1 glanced at Mr. 2 coldly, somewhat unwillingly. At this time, Kang came outside dancing ballet. Xiaofeng, get up quickly, the S***** being pinned to the ground is in such a sorry state, let's continue to implement the perfect way of being a S******. Mr. 1 instantly spotted Kang wearing the same style of clothing. Unexpectedly, when drowsiness comes, someone will give me a pillow. He pointed at Kang with murderous intent and said, do you know this guy wearing the same clothes as Mr. 2? Feeling Mr. 1's murderous intention, Mr. 2 raised his head and said angrily, what do you want to do? He is my partner, Patty Dabo, codename, Ms. Singles Day. I haven't received any news that you have a partner. Mr. 1 said, grabbing Kang with a claw full of murderous intent, and shouted, I said he is a spy. Boom. The wall shattered into pieces. This scene made Ms. raise her fingers and wait for the other agents to frown, feeling that what Mr. 1 did was inappropriate. Xiaofeng was furious. Mr. 4, don't hold me back, I'm going to kill him. Mr. 1 behind the wall looked puzzled, and one of his claws was actually empty. At this time, bursts of music came from behind him. There are men and women in this world. I am your uncle. Mr. 1 turned around and stabbed him. But she-males are neither male nor female. However, the voice appeared behind him again, which made Mr. 1 a little stunned. It was so fast. The moment Mr. 1 turned around, the Fishman monster boxing technique 10,000 pieces of Watts Shiro. Boom. Mr. 1 was kicked away by AS ******* again. Kang grinned, it's so damn hard. Kang mocked. Does excessive tolerance make you feel okay? The invincible way of being AS ****** is not something that gendered bald guys like you can understand. After saying that, he picked up Xiaofeng. Xiaofeng, come on. Dance of the S ********. Let's dance. Xiaofeng burst into tears and said, Patty Dabo. I am never alone. Kang and Xiaofeng completely ignored the shock of others and began to dance arm in arm. Mr. 1 got up in embarrassment after being kicked away. He was a walking piece of iron, but he actually felt pain. At this time, Ms. took out a phone bug with both fingers and threatened, that's enough. As a killer, Mr. 1, you are a little bit shaky. I want you to stop the following behavior immediately. Mr. 1 took a deep breath, these two disgusting she-males will die in his hands sooner or later. At this time, a turtle car parked in front of the Spider-Man cafe, and Ms. waved with both hands. Kang pointed to the sea ahead. We have indeed arrived, because it is obvious. Meow, meow, can you stop it? The purpose of the Straw Hats is clear, to defeat Crocodile and snatch Robin. However, when it accidentally met Luffy's eyes, a trace of panic flashed through its originally clever little eyes, and a few drops of humanized cold sweat even broke out on its forehead. Sanji replied seriously, the cat meat is a bit fishy, but the fish part should be fine. Before he finished speaking, a sea beast quietly came out of the sea and sucked in the fresh air. Then leave it to me. 3-sword style. The only thing I dislike is the chicken shadow clone, which is essentially a ball of chakra. His chakra has changed from one half of the original body to 1/4, and he will turn into a fart and disappear soon. As Luffy stretched out his left hand, everyone, including Runner and Dark Crow, stretched out their left hands and formed a circle. Okay, no matter what happens in the future. From now on, this will be the symbol of our partnership. Everyone cherishes this companion mark. The turtle truck has arrived, let's go. The boss is waiting for us in the rain. While Luffy was fishing, he muttered, Kang actually gave up his favorite fishing. It's really annoying, I have no meat to eat. However, as for the symbol that marks the partner, he can just make up one himself, so as not to say that he is not gregarious. Offshore of Rapeseed Flower Port, aboard the Melee. It thinks that no one will cause trouble this time, right? Although they didn't know whether Xiaofeng could turn into an animal, everyone still chose to take precautions. Zoro pulled out his knife, he was addicted to chopping meat recently. Sanji, can you eat this? ... Boom, boom, boom. She explained seriously. After saying that, she walked over to Mr. 1, and her position was just between the two waves of people. This mark cannot be taken away. This is the sea cat who was almost castrated by Kang. Zoro started stroking his chin and suggested, now that we have arrived at Alabasta, let's have a meeting to discuss our follow-up action plan. The sea cat is sacred, just like Moo Moo. Its appearance proves that Alabasta is coming soon, and you will soon have endless meat. Vivi was seriously injured when she took action, and her 3 partners fell to the ground directly. The person our Straw Hats like can't run away. Interpreter Chauba. What do you mean by that look in your eyes? I'm not AS *********. Luffy hadn't eaten meat for a day, and his eyes changed instantly when he saw it. Sanji put his hands in his pockets and said handsomely, it seems that Baroque's agents have begun to gather. Everyone looked up and saw many pirate ships with the BW logo appearing on the sea level. Chapter 103 Luffy, the Troublemaker. Vivi knows that her partner's goal is Robin, and by the way, they can defeat Crocodile and save her country. During a discussion, everyone learned about Crocodile's hiding place, the Rain Land, which was the only place with continuous rainfall other than the royal city of Albana. And Vivi proposed a separation plan. I am going to Yuba, the base camp of the rebels. The leader of the rebels is my childhood playmate. I must reveal the truth to him personally and tell them that this is all a conspiracy from Crocodile. Through their experiences along the way, the Straw Hats have long recognized Vivi. So, Luffy was the first to raise his hand and refuse, you are our partner. I don't want to be separated from you. Nami wanted to say, Luffy. Kang has already run into the rain. But after all the benefits were collected, she still didn't say anything. At this time, Chi Kong's shadow clone opened the map and said, Vivi, Kosa is not in Yuba. The leader of the rebel army should be in Catlin Town next to the rapeseed flower market. Vivi looked shocked. What? Chi Kong affirmed. In short, after arriving at the rapeseed flower market, first replenish supplies and then go search for it, trust me. Everyone still believes in the fishing guy's intelligence capabilities. Therefore, based on the information provided by Chi Kong, the Straw Hats formulated a preliminary plan. As civilians, they will set off from the rapeseed flower market, travel east across the desert, and escort Vivi straight to the town of Catalia. The Melee docked quietly at a secret corner on the west blue bank of the rapeseed flower market and in the lower reaches of the Santo River. Usopp's legs couldn't stop shaking at the thought of them facing the Shichibukai. While he was feeling depressed, he suddenly caught a glimpse of a strange boat. Hey everyone, is that Mr. Three's boat? When Ms. Golden Week on the ship heard a familiar voice, she didn't dare to eat the senbei and shrank deeper. Everyone looked around and saw that the big Three was not the third brother's boat, but whose ship it belonged to. At this time, a funny voice attracted everyone's attention, making people forget about Mr. Three. I'm coming. Delicious desert barbecue. Rubber. Rocket. Luffy had already flown out first, and everyone was caught off guard. Nami covered her face, a scene that seemed familiar. It's like this every time. It's really unlucky to have such a captain. Forget it, Luffy should be able to eat even if he doesn't have money. So, Nami stepped on the fish tank and clapped her hands crisply, attracting everyone's attention. Assign tasks now. Now that Mr. Three is back, we are at risk of exposure. Then Chopper and Sanji, you two are responsible for purchasing supplies. Sell the pinkies and sapphire lantern fish, and then buy some civilian clothes. Remember, your clothes must cover your face. We have to blend into the city. Shadow clone Chi Kong on the side had tears on his face. The clone in the main body had the same emotion for the baby. Goodbye Pinky, goodbye Sapphire, may there be no Nami in heaven. Sanji rubbed his chin, his eyes turned into loving looks, buying clothes. I understand. This is the exotic style that Chi Kong said, dancer. Oh, I'm really looking forward to it. Zoro crossed his arms and said, idiot perverted cook, remember not to cause trouble, we are here to help Vivi. Sanji lights up a cigarette with an expression on his face that you don't understand. His dream of going to sea is all beauty, no, all blue. All beauty, no, all blue. Everyone looked at Sanji who kept changing his face, sweating on their foreheads. What are you doing? Chopper and Sanji, who looked like an idiot, walked towards the rapeseed flowers. It seemed that the new experimental drug for treating nymphomaniacs was completely ineffective. Vivi on the side took out a letter and gave it to her horse to run fast. I'll leave it to you to run fast. You go back to Albana first and pass the news to my father. The Kodak duck nodded to express understanding. It was most familiar with the desert map, and then took steps to fly north. With sparks and lightning all the way, he is indeed the fastest creature in the desert. Rapeseed Flower Market is a city famous for its perfume, and the strong smell of perfume permeates the air. Suburban Commercial Street. They had been wandering around in disguise for a long time, but they couldn't find Luffy. Nami and Vivi have changed into dancers' costumes full of desert style, with light tulle and sparkling accessories. As soon as they stood there, their graceful figures became the focus of attention in the streets and alleys, attracting countless old perverts to stop and look back. As for the others, they were wearing civilian clothes and headscarves. Miss Nami, Miss Vivi, you guys have such a good figure. Sanji looked like a pig, so it's okay not to mention it. Nami looked at the 2 million Baileys and punched him in disgust. You just sold these 2 treasures at the lowest price, and you still have the nerve to be here. Get out of here. Ms. Nami, I can't help it. The girl who bought the fish is so enthusiastic. Even though Sanji was in a coma, his eyes were full of love. Go to hell. Die Sanji. Nami's expression began to twist. Nami, calm down. Calm down. Vivi quickly advised. Nami seemed to be a different person when she mentioned the money. Chopper covered his nose and shivered. Nami glanced at Chopper, and with nowhere to vent her anger, she turned to the aggrieved shadow clone and yelled. And you, Chi Kong, what do you mean by that expression? This fish is already mine. I can handle it however I like. You still owe me 1.5 million Baileys. If you don't have the money to pay back, all your fish will be mine. Chi Kong was stunned. 1.5 million, isn't it 700,000? Devil, happy daily life continues. Where did that guy Luffy go? He led a group of Marines and ran towards his friends. The sworn brother of Luffy and Sabo, the captain of Whitebeard's 2nd Division, with a bounty of 550 million berries, a master as high as 4 or 5 stories high, master. Hi, Zoro, Kai Kong, everyone, you are here. Yeah, sorry, isn't that Luffy guy already captured? Who's there? Zoro was the first to alert. While the Straw Hats were calmly watching the show, the guy who was running away looked this way. Luffy, are you an idiot? Shish, everyone hide, Zoro suddenly warned. Chi Kong rolled his eyes. After a while, a red necklace hangs around his neck, and his bare chest shows off his strong and well-proportioned muscle lines. His lower body is matched with a pair of trousers, and a sharp dagger is inserted diagonally on the belt around his waist, which looks both casual and powerful. Don't let him escape. A group of Marines armed with guns and knives ran over chasing a figure. Then a man jumped onto the sand dune like a vigorous cheetah, and the eyes of everyone in the Straw Hats immediately focused on him. Portgas d Ace. ... Everyone looked confused and wailed in their hearts. Don't come over. He wears an orange cowboy hat on his head, with smile and sad badges decorated on both sides of the hat brim. After everyone heard this, they hid in a sand dune, and the first thing they did was beat up Luffy. Because Marine was blocked by a naked man covered in flames. It's indeed Luffy. So, everyone ran away. Of course, there is a reason for this. You are here, came a clear voice. Guys, wait Ace, that guy wants to see me for something. Luffy shouted as he ran. Usopp was actually thinking the same thing, because at this time. Because they saw the smoke man. There was also a Marine female colonel who knew how to kill bones together. They originally thought they would need Shadow Clone to break off the attack, but what was unexpected was that they easily got rid of the pursuers. Compared to the happy side here, Usopp and Zoro outside the alley are much more serious. He has short black messy hair, eyes as gentle as lake water, and playful Madara dotted on his cheeks. There are pirates. Which unlucky guy is so unlucky? Zoro wondered. No need to think about it. Who else but the idiot captain could do this? Suddenly Usopp became negative, his legs began to tremble, and he bit his fingers. Chapter 104 Gentle Ace. Ace, Luffy said excitedly. Ace also showed a big smile, and bowed his head politely to everyone as soon as he came up. My brother is grateful to you for taking care of me, thank you. After hearing this, everyone's response was, it is indeed. Everyone decisively accepted this courtesy, because this is indeed what it should be. Especially Nami, she almost cried and kept complaining. The listener is sad and the listener sheds tears. Ace's polite gesture also showed his bond with Luffy, and everyone quickly became familiar with each other. After a while of chatting, everyone also learned the reason why he came for the first half of the time, as well as the situation of his power. By the way, Luffy, do you want to join the Whitebeard Pirates? I can introduce you to join. Of course, all your friends can come. Ace directly invited Luffy. I don't want it, I want to be a One Piece man. Luffy, who aims at One Piece, cannot bear the flag of others. Ha ha ha, I know what your answer is, so I'll just say it casually. Also, this is for you. You should always carry this with you. With that said, Ace threw a small piece of white paper to Luffy. Kang's eyes flashed, he knew this thing. Ace's life card. The life card is a thing only found in New World. It is neither afraid of water nor fire. It is made by mixing your own fingernails into the material. It is a kind of paper that represents the owner's vitality. Usually people will tear it up and give it to relatives or friends who are about to be separated, and the torn papers will attract each other. The life card will shrink when the owner is weak, and will return to its original size when the owner recovers health. If the life card slowly turns to ashes, it means that the owner is not far from death. After Ace handed the life card to Luffy, he said to the others, I have a stupid brother. As a brother, I'm very worried. I don't think you can do anything about him, right? He bent down deeply again and said sincerely, Luffy, please leave it to you. Especially Nami, please. Shadow Clone watched Ace raise Tuogu's flag and sighed. The others also sighed, but looked at Luffy with disgust. Because Ace is too polite. Ace stood up, straightened the brim of his hat, and said, if you are going to Catalan Town, then let me help you stop Marine. After Ace finished speaking, he picked up his bag and waved his hand without looking back. Then, see you on the ocean. Luffy, then leave it to you. Ace, he. Kang just wanted to talk to Ace about something. Luffy, your brother and I have something to say. I'll go with him. You guys go according to plan first. After saying that, Kang's shadow clone followed. Ace, who was carrying his luggage, suddenly stopped and asked without looking back, Your Excellency, who calls himself a ninja, what do you want from me? Kang came with a very simple purpose, of course to persuade Ace to give up chasing Blackbeard. Before Blackbeard got the dark fruit, he was able to slap red hair on the face. This fighting power is not empty. That's 4 emperors red-haired Shanks. Are 4 emperors shameless? That's a person with the face fruit ability. The face of a face-saving person. He didn't believe that Shanks had bet his face on New World. In the original book, Ace defeated Blackbeard because of hunting him, and finally started the war on top. In that war, Whitebeard fell apart, and Ace also died. The protagonist Wang Lufei is alive because of a series of coincidences. And Kang's intrusion, who knows whether it will make butterflies flap their wings, the Fishing King can still act inappropriately. After all, it is so fun to travel with a group of second generation. So, Kang got to the point and said, Blackbeard is not easy, I'm here to persuade you to give up. Ace turned around and looked at Kang with a puzzled expression. He is the captain of Whitebeard's second division. Why is he captain? Big fists are the last word. Not to mention having a strong physique, he is also a Logia fruit user. Ace hasn't used the word death to himself for a long time. Interesting answer. Why do you think so? Kang looked at Ace looking at him with an expression that looked like a fool, and he racked his brains to think about what to say. Kang smiled crookedly. He looked it up in an encyclopedia. There is no absolutely invincible fruit in the world. Since I shoulder my father's faith, I cannot let go of this honor easily. I must capture Blackbeard with my own hands and make him pay the price with his life. A gust of wind and sand swept across, and the whole world fell silent for a while. He pressed his hat and bowed his head to Kang seriously, thank you for telling me the whereabouts of the other brother. I will bring him back. But, is this the so-called damn ghost who can't be persuaded by good words? Kang didn't even reach Luffy's father's thigh, so he never had the chance to make arrangements. Ace, who had been silent all this time, finally spoke. Luffy doesn't know about this yet. Ace was stunned at first, but he was not very excited. Instead, he frowned, lowered his head, and inadvertently touched the tattoo on his left arm with his right hand. Ace frowned. If the boy opposite him didn't lie, then such valuable information would be of great use. He was also mainly afraid that Luffy would shout for the Revolutionary Army and mess up the route of the Grand Line, and then his advantage would be gone. However, after finally getting into a serious state, he was ready to give it a final try. Could it be that I am a time traveler? I know the plot behind it, of course not. Ace suddenly asked an irrelevant question. Do you know Tama and Yamato from Wano country? At the same time, the dark fruit also has its own flaws. The darkness emitted by the dark itself has no attack power, and it cannot be elementally immune to physical attacks like other Logias. However, it has another ability, absorbing the damage received at the cost of double times the pain. Sob. I'm exchanging information about a person with you. That person's name is. Ace suddenly showed a smile. I feel that you are not lying, and I can also feel your feelings for Luffy. No, don't change the subject. Kang. I don't know Xiao Yu, but Yamato. I want to know him. Intelligence is part of the ninja's ability. Faced with this invincible fruit, I advise you to be a rat tail. After killing Blackbeard, the dark fruit is a special Logia fruit. The effect after eating it is, the body changes into darkness and has a black hole-like gravity. It can suck in, compress and crush everything that comes into contact with the darkness, and attract people with abilities to render their abilities ineffective. Ability, but must be touched by hand. Ace asked in confusion. Where did you get this information? Do you know so much about the dark fruit? Ace is just as stubborn as Luffy. He believes in something that even nine-headed Zoro can't pull back, so he is also prepared. Lousy doesn't want Ace to die. A guy who lacks fatherly love. He has a tattoo of ASCE on his left arm, with the S crossed out. Kang looked at Ace like this and felt disgusted. Kang's calm voice began to come. Sob. Ace curled his lips and insisted on his opinion. Seeing that Ace was silent for a long time, Kang urged. Kang shook his head, indicating that Luffy didn't know yet. He is now a cadre of the Revolutionary Army, but he is in a state of amnesia. Don't worry about Blackbeard or anything like that. You go meet him and bring him over to give Luffy a happy time. Chapter 105. Ace blocks the road and the he sneaks in. Smoker held a cigar in his mouth, and despite Tina's repeated warnings, he still ignored any laws and regulations and rushed out of the East Gate. Smoker probably means, Lousy just wants to catch the straw hat. Love it. 7 warlords of the sea counts as an egg. Lousy can't catch the straw hat if he pushes harder, so he grabs a Shichibukai to make up the number. Tina glared at this stupid young man who was not tactful at all. She didn't want to wipe Smoker's butt, so she could only bite the bullet and follow him all the way. The two smokers headed east and soon saw Ace. At this time, Kang put down his fist of the same style as Nami. If the real body is here, Ace will definitely know why dogs don't eat the seer fruit. Smoker is here. Ace looked towards the east door and said with a smile. Tina quickly discovered the two of them and reminded, be careful. Smoker. Kagero. White snake. Wind escape great breakthrough. The moment Smoker's smoky fist collided with the flames, the sudden strong wind caused the flames to rise and at the same time greatly reduced the effect of Smoker's smoke. However, a marine kernel is easy to deal with, but there is also a very disgusting fruit ability, the threshold fruit ability user Tina. Smoker is exhausted. Tina is very happy. Do you want Tina to help? Although Tina doesn't want to help. Tina's tone of voice is very special, but she is a very beautiful lady with a royal look. She can stretch out a black iron rod in her hand, and can even turn it into shackles to trap the enemy. She is one of the marines that the minions are most afraid of. She was also merciless when she moved her hands. She said something disparaging about Smoker, and Tina stretched out her hand. The black sticks cut out one after another and turned into an airtight wall, blocking most of the power of the flames. Smoker faced the strong wind, felt the familiar skill, and saw clearly that this wind skill came from. Not Alita. Her appearance looks very familiar. Before I could take a few more glances, the bald head turned into smoke. What happened? How could people disappear? Smoker thought he was chasing the straw hat to pursue a delusion. He shook his head and chose no, then looked at Ace. Captain of Whitebeard's 2nd Division, Fire Fist Ace. It's you again. What on earth are you going to do? Smoker's face turned terrifying. Ace blocked one eye with his cowboy hat and looked at Smoker and said, hey. Didn't I tell you? I'm Luffy's brother. Of course I'm going to stop you from chasing Luffy. Elder brother. Smoker was dripping with cold sweat. Do all pirates nowadays use their backgrounds like this? Smoker gritted his teeth and said, so what, brother? Even if your grandpa comes, I will catch you all in one go. These words made Ace roll his eyes. Some old guy must have been sneezing. Black gun. Without saying much, Tina fired out a black spear and roared towards Ace. Seeing this, Ace touched the ground with his toes and quickly stepped back. He didn't dare to resist the strange paramesha ability. Flame gun. Da da da. Ace held a gun with both hands and shot the two men indiscriminately. Dasky, Zhangao, and Hobody rushed around one after another to fight Marine. Ace was not weak. If he wasn't afraid of having too much hatred, he would just use another Sunfire to clean the ground. Damn Fire Fist Ace. What did you do to my men? Smoker, who has an irritable personality, immediately rushed towards Ace with his fists raised. Come on, Smoker. You are smoke and I am fire. We are evenly matched. White Fist. Fire Punch. Seeing that the ridicule was in place, Ace chuckled and murmured in a low voice, everyone has his own way. Luffy, and Kang, see you on the sea. In the desert, a turtle wearing a hat and smoking a cigar was pulling a carriage forward quickly. This unattractive turtle is none other than Robin's car, Binchi, the special waterway shuttle turtle caught by Kang. At this time, its destination is Rainland, a city in Alabasta. Inside Binchi's carriage, Mr. One's face was filled with murderous intent, and he roared, Mr. 4. Can't you sit over there? It's too crowded. At this time, Mr. 4 was also trying his best to curl up his fat body and said slowly, yes. I'm sorry, Mr. 4 could only apologize constantly because he did not want to discuss the ways of being as **********. Perhaps only M's here could calmly remain indifferent to these two perverts. Kang did a ballet dance, shot a wink at Robin, and said hello with as ********* dance. Soon, several people followed the guide and walked in. Ms. Nicole Robin at the top of the stairs was already waiting for everyone. You are so energetic. Nico Robin covered her mouth and chuckled, making a gesture of invitation. Ms. Single Day, a nice holiday. Because Crocodile kept a low profile, the senior cadres only met Ms. Nicole Robin and a few people during mission assignments all Sunday. On the painful journey. Why did I fall off the bus? Are these she-males fools? When the sackcloth was opened, it turned out to be the third brother who had smuggled in. Kang waved his hand and sat down. Anyway, his goal was achieved. Come on. This way please, Mr. Zero has been waiting for a long time. Amid a tremor, a figure wrapped in linen suddenly fell to the ground. Mr. One on the side looked disdainful and cursed in a low voice, flattery. Kang stood up, pointed at Mr. One, and said, to look down on the way of a human being is to look down on the slave family. Xiao Feng, let him see how powerful the way of a human being is. Okay, Mr. One, aren't you going to see the boss soon? If you have any questions, ask him in person. Since another strange key has been added to the senior agents, Ms. showed the same tired expression as Nami with her fingers. At this time, Ms. walked over with her hands on her hips. Mr. One, why don't you go? This is Ms. All Sunday, right? This is Ms. Singles Day. I've been looking up to you for a long time. As Binchi slowly stopped, several people walked out of the car as if they were running away. What came into view was the most famous luxury casino in the city, Yuyan. Then, something suddenly occurred to him and he asked, hey. Ms. All Sunday, have you figured out the details of this guy? I suspect he is a spy. As she said that, she grabbed Mr. One's arm, really afraid that the key would start having X with this bald straight man again. Fight. Nicole Robin's reaction was also very dull, and she didn't seem to have any discrimination against transvestites. The carriage was buzzing with excitement. Even Binky was sweating on his forehead. If you ever discuss the ways of transvestites again, I will kill you. Mr. One looked at Kang and Xiaofeng fiercely. He couldn't bear the two transvestites' pranks anymore. The third brother stood up and looked at the rolling desert, feeling a little stupid for a moment. Xiaofeng did a ballet dance and stopped in front of Mr. One, as if he would take action if he said another word. You are taking action, so I won't be polite. My patience has its limits. Ms. threatened with her fingers as if the hair had exploded all over her body. As the vehicle quietened down, Ms. retracted the threatening stingers with both fingers, and her sigh turned into helplessness. Can you get there quickly? Look at the way Dachshund Gun Rasu is sweating profusely. Hey, Mr. One, why are you bullying my partner? Why don't you go sit over there? Ms. Merry Christmas looked unhappy. Because Xiaofeng and Kang were discussing whether it was a transvestite. After all, the object that ate the devil fruit itself should have no gender. Chapter 106 Crocodile, Exposed. Robin led everyone to the secret room hidden in the rain banquet and said. It seems that everyone is ready. If there is no problem, I will get down to the topic. Robin then smiled mysteriously. Before that, let me introduce someone to you, the boss you have never met. He is Mr. Zero, Sand Crocodile, one of the 7 warlords of the sea, Sand Crocodile of the Desert King. As Robin's voice sounded, Crocodile slapped the chair. I turned around for you. Lao Sha turned around, holding a cigar in his mouth, with an expression indicating who was in favor and who was against. Seeing this scene, everyone was trembling. Crocodile. Everyone was shocked. No one in the street knew the name of 7 warlords of the sea, but they never expected that the boss of the organization was actually him. Everything is unexpected and reasonable. Crocodile glanced at everyone, and after knowing that he had shocked everyone, he slowly spoke. The time has matured, and the final battle plan of the Baroque Working Society has been officially launched. It is called Utopia. Hearing this, Ms. Merry Christmas and Mr. 4 were both excited. Who should work for rather than fight? The stronger the boss, the happier they will be. Mr. One leaned back on the chair. Although his face remained expressionless, his heart could not calm down for a long time. Chi Kong, also known as Ms. Singles Day, was shocked and danced a dance. It's actually Utopia. The king of transvestites. Have you seen that distant Utopia? Mr. 2, Xiaofeng nodded to Chi Kong with tears in his eyes, and said with an expression of looking forward to his dream. The inheritance of the way of monsters. This is our ideal land. Even if I become the subordinate of other pirates, I will not hesitate. Xiaofeng. Big wave. The long-awaited final battle begins. However, the atmosphere was completely ruined by the two she-males. Ms. said with trembling fingers, Shichibukai is obviously a legal pirate recognized by the government. Why did they create an organization like Baroque Studio? Although she was scared, she still asked everyone's doubts. Crocodile's voice continued. My purpose has never been money or status, but military power. In fact, military power is just an excuse for him, but there is no need for Crocodile to tell these workers clearly. At this time, he seemed to have been immersed in his own fantasy, as if he had obtained the ancient weapon buried underground in this kingdom, which could change the world, Pluton. Crocodile slowly lit the cigar, calmed his restless heart, and slowly said. My ambitions go far beyond Alabasta. There are things in this country that fascinate me more than the royal power. However, to capture this thing, Alabasta must be captured and destroyed. Since the founding of Baroque, all the tasks you have performed have been for this day. On the main seat, Crocodile's face was looming under the light, looking like a villain and a big boss. At this time, Nico Robin began to distribute the final tasks to everyone. This is your final mission. When you complete your respective tasks, Alabasta will automatically collapse, the rebels and the king's army will join our forces, and eventually this country will become our ideal hometown. After watching it, everyone suddenly realized that no wonder Crocodile wanted to hide behind the scenes and create the image of a national hero. The thief of the country. Crocodile grinned and glanced at everyone present with his unruly eyes. Suddenly his smile faded and he looked at Chi Kong. So, let's talk about you. You are Mr. 2's new partner, right? Crocodile said, suddenly getting stuck. What is your name? He is Ms. Single Day. Robin reminded him at the right moment. Crocodile pressed a button with an intriguing smile on his face. As a mechanism opens. That's right, Ms. Singles Day. Come over and see what this is. Crocodile waved his hand in motion for Chi Kong to come over. Chi Kong walked over as if nothing had happened, and was stunned when he saw the creature inside clearly. Banana crocodile. This thing has at least 7 inches forced appointment qualities. A fisherman's favorite. Chi Kong couldn't bear it anymore and threw the pole instinctively. And Lao Sha was also confused. Are you kidding me? Do you have a sense of crisis? And is my fish tank just for you to fish? Chi Kong blinked and hurriedly explained. Boss. The slave family wants to cross the banana crocodile into a human monster here, can it be convenient? Chi Kang's words made everyone present except Xiaofeng, who had long been accustomed to his style, feel confused. Brother, you are facing Shichibukai. Don't you dare to fart until you see Mr. 1. Crocodile smiled slightly and responded playfully. Oh, easy to say. Ms. Singles Day, right. This is for you. As soon as he finished speaking, he immediately stretched out his right hand, wanting to activate the sand prison to suck away his moisture. Chi Kong was shocked. Lao Sha's hand was simply a close combat nemesis. He used shaving plus teleportation to distance himself. You are very interesting. But who gave you the courage? Do you think I can't feel your intense malice? Crocodile's voice was low and murderous. These words startled Chi Kong and he quickly took a few steps back. Has it been discovered? Suspected to have seen it. When he was spinning in circles just now, he wanted to take advantage of the dim light to quietly take a dose of sand tetrodotoxin. After all, as a ninja, assassination is the way to go, but it's a pity that there is no chance. Let me see your true face. Lao Sha raised his hand. Shalon. A violent sandstorm swept across, and the sand and dust instantly enveloped everyone. The sudden change of situation shocked everyone. Zai Zi, what do you mean? Patty Dabo, why? Xiaofeng looked around while resisting the sudden sandstorm, his head was shaking. Shalon is not very powerful in a closed environment, but Crocodile's purpose is also very clear. Sweat dripped from Chi Kang's forehead, and Lao Sha actually discovered his transformed self. Bang! The transformation technique was cut by the yellow sand and forced to be released. Chi Kong transformed into his true form, and a great breakthrough blew away the yellow sand like a knife. You are Fenger, Nujia is Sha, we are equal. Chi Kong said stinkingly. He instinctively touched Ja Crit's bald head. Well, my hair, is it back? Chi Kong immediately made a stop gesture and used the water mirror technique to look in the mirror shamelessly. An idea appeared in everyone's mind. Blatant. She-males are indeed not normal people. At this time, Chi Kang's heart was in full bloom. Chopper's hair tonic actually works. Now he has long, thick, black hair of fine texture. This hairstyle, Chopper. Are you surprised or surprised? Chi Kong combed his hair angrily. That's right, now he actually has thick black hair like Madara's. Although he was not bald, Nicole Robin immediately recognized Chi Kong, with a smile on her lips. Mr. 1 immediately wanted to take action. I've long told him that something was wrong with him. There is no good thing about transsexuals. Crocodile stopped Mr. 1 and asked with interest, are you a Marine? Or a CP organization. Or something else. Chapter 107 Showdown. Facing Crocodile's questioning, Kang's brain began to work at high speed. Now he is not wanted. As long as Robin does not speak, they have no idea that he is a member of the Straw Hats. However, how to make up an identity in a reasonable way is now a problem. Just as he was racking his brains, he happened to look at Xiaofeng, who looked puzzled and worried. Ding. A sound. He thought about it. Therefore, Kang said with a serious look on his face. Originally, I wanted to wait until Xiaofeng left before I said it, but now, it seems I have to say it. Kang sighed softly, stretched his hands behind his back, deliberately created a heavy atmosphere, and spoke slowly again. Uchiha is actually a user with the ability of the Nine-Tails Fox Fruit, and is a fox man. In the great prison under the sea, a certain Chihiro's mother-in-law sneezed. After Kang finished speaking, he waited for the reaction of Lao Sha and others. The scene was silent, no one responded, and the atmosphere suddenly fell into embarrassment. A deep loneliness and persistence appeared on Kang's face, as if no one understands me. He pointed at Crocodile with a determined look. If you were not 7 warlords of the sea, the slave family might be willing to be driven by you, but unfortunately, the slave family's target is you. Crocodile. At this time, Crocodile had already sat down, not too far away from Kang, watching him perform a one-man show with great interest. How can I fix it? Still no one answers. Kang turned to look at Xiaofeng, with determination in his eyes. Xiaofeng, the slave family wants to challenge the boss, and all this has nothing to do with you. Although I am very happy to be with you, in order to better convey the ways of being we have to separate. These words made Xiaofeng confused, and tears welled up in his eyes. Challenge the boss. Why? The slave family really doesn't understand. Kang looked seriously and explained. This is an agreement between me and a certain person. The purpose of my going to sea is Shichibukai. In order to resound the way of the monster in the sea. Nothing can be sung by the world more than becoming a great pirate. Although Kang was not in patty big wave form, he still jumped up and stood in an elegant ballet posture. With firm eyes, he weaved the black swan decoration on his back into a heart-shaped pattern on his forehead and spoke again. So, Xiaofeng, please don't stop my dream because of friendship, okay? At this moment, Kang's figure seemed to be shining brightly in the sunset. Even Mr. One, who always looked down on ladyboys, couldn't help but feel, this ladyboy is so manly. However, this is a challenge 7 warlords of the sea. This person who calls herself Ms. Singles Day really dares to say so. This is not the East China Sea, this is the Grand Line. Who doesn't know the horror of the 7 warlords of the sea? The innocent Xiaofeng burst into tears, and the makeup on his face was a little stained. Patty Dabo. I didn't expect you to have such a dream. I won't stop you. I will watch you realize your dream with my own eyes. Because I believe, Xiaofeng roared with all his strength. I believe that wherever the branches and leaves of the human monster path are scattered, the fire of the human monster will never end. My dear friend, I will dance that energetic key dance for you. I hope this can bring you miraculous power. After Xiaofeng shouted loudly, he resolutely danced the key dance regardless of the gazes around him. The other agents were suddenly able to understand Kang's behavior. What the human demon did could not be inferred by common sense. Kang pointed at Crocodile again and shouted impassionedly, don't you feel the malice of the slave family? Let's duel with the slave family. Crocodile. Crocodile looked at Kang, looking unconcerned. Your goal is to challenge Shichibukai. Interesting. Kang tightened the cloak behind his back and showed a smile full of fighting spirit. Facing Kang's challenge, Crocodile finally stood up, not only to scare the monkeys, but also to eliminate this potential threat. Pathetic weakling. The gap between you and me is clear at a glance. What makes you dare to challenge me? Is it your ambition or your ignorance? As he spoke, Sand Crocodile made an hourglass and took out the largest hook in his left hand, completely showing no sign of supporting his younger generation. 10 minutes, frog in the well. Let me teach you how vast the world is. This. Kang swallowed. Is this the treatment of the protagonist? Zoro, come out. If this is an opening, can you tell me how to pretend to be the next one? Ms. Quan Sunday and a group of Baroque agents were already sitting on the steps. All that was missing was a plate of melon seeds. They also want to see the gap between themselves and Shichibukai. Lao Sha waved his hand and signaled Kang to take action. Laozi is a great time traveler, but you still look down on him. Give Laozi water, and Laozi won't kill you. Kang opened the Sharingan and threw out 7 or 8 kunai, each with a detonating charm hanging on it. Boom, boom, boom. Continuous explosions swept across Lao Sha, which was still a bit of a threat to Lao Sha, who could transform into elements. Lao Sha's figure gradually appeared. Unexpectedly, Lao Sha did not use the element to hide kunai, but instead created a sand wall. Kang quickly formed seals with his hands. Water style, who fixes it? As Kang shouted, a huge stream of water spurted out from Crocodile's fish tank, turned into a torrent and then spread like a waterfall. Control the water. No wonder you have the courage to fight me. But that's all, Crocodile said disdainfully and slapped the ground with his right hand. The surface is dry. The earth is shaking, the surface is dry and cracked, and the water is drying up quickly. It's so good, why don't you endorse it? Qi Kong took out his soaked shuriken and launched a test attack while Lao Sha was absorbing the water. Whoosh whoosh. The shurikens kept shooting at Lao Sha, but Lao Sha easily blocked them with his hook. You want to kill me with this toy? Are you kidding me? Qi Kong allowed Crocodile to taunt him. He ignored it and continued to shoot faster and faster. You can't even get your head right, are you blind? Lao Sha mocked. Ding, ding. The shurikens collided with each other, water droplets and sparks flying everywhere. Lao Sha's back was covered by sparks from the collision of shurikens, and countless shurikens turned into a hail of bullets, attacking Lao Sha without any pattern. This is Qi Kang's test of imitating a rubber machine gun. Of course, the speed of the shuriken is not as fast as Luffy's punch. The sound of ding, 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 metal collisions kept coming, which made Lao Sha very upset and started to scramble, but in the end he missed his shot. 30 shurikens were thrown away, and even at this density they could be avoided. Lao Sha either had quick reflexes or had a sense of intelligence. After all, long-range attacks were delayed too much, and Qi Kong, who had Sharingan, was confident that he could dodge them anyway. Qi Kong saw that Lao Sha was almost sucking up all the water, and quickly formed seals in his hands. Water-style water tooth bomb. Qi Kong successfully pulled away 3 streams of water at the moment when the water flow dried up, and rode the rotating water stream directly towards Crocodile. Interesting ability. Crescent Dune. Lao Sha raised his right hand, turned into a sand blade and swung it out. The blade of sand arrives first, and the moment it comes into contact with the water flow fails to wet the sand, but dries up quickly. But Sha Ren still maintained its fierce momentum and rushed straight towards Qi Kong who was standing on the water curtain. Chapter 108 Beat Lao Sha. Qi Kong looked at his body scraped by the sand blade in shock, as if he couldn't believe that Crocodile's slash could absorb water. He didn't even feel any damage from the slash, it was a sand blade that simply absorbed water. There was a hint of sarcasm on Crocodile's lips. Goodbye, weak. Before he finished speaking, he suddenly frowned, because Qi Kong did not become a mummy, but seemed to be completely swallowed, like water. What happened? Lao Sha looked puzzled and seemed to be more serious. At this moment, a cold light as fast as electricity quietly approached Lao Sha's skin from the ceiling, and the moisture attached to the kunai was enough to solidify the sand and dust. The cold light flashed away, and a head with a striking back hair instantly flew into the sky. Chu didn't show any signs of attack before taking action, but once he took action, he would kill with one strike. This is ninja. However, after Qi Kong hit with one blow, he chose to retreat quickly. What was cut just now was not sand or flesh and blood, but air. Lao Sha has been elementalized in advance. Did you run away? I'll give you the same blow. Crocodile said angrily. I saw his headless body, and instantly shot out countless tiny sand blades from all around, as if forming an inescapable encirclement. Shishuo blade. This is a skill I've never seen before. Different from the huge sand blade that can absorb water, the blade of the knife in front of you is shining with a cold light, shooting out like a marble. The speed was too fast, and the water style and wind release seals were too late. Qi Kong in the air clapped his hands. Fire-style Phoenix Sage Fire Jutsu. Under his exquisite control, the blazing flames hit each sand blade accurately. However, although the surface of the sand blade showed signs of crystallization, its fierce offensive did not weaken by half. Fire style can't stop the sand. This made Qi Kong feel nervous and he hurriedly protected his vital points. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Qi Kang's body was scratched by several sand blades, and blood spurted out. There is only one thing I want to say in my heart: burn the fruit. The moment Qi Kong landed, he started a continuous teleportation state. He first pulled up the back of a chair and hid in a corner instantly. He breathed heavily and felt his body. Fortunately, it was just a skin injury. Skin wounds in the pirate world. The only thing he can't do is be fast. The flames created by chakra were at a disadvantage against the sand, and Qi Kong prepared to use another ninjutsu that he was good at. So what about this move? His Sharingan starts converting to yin attribute chakra, and he wants to use genjutsu. Do you think we are playing hide and seek? Lao Sha had already discovered Qi Kang's location. Whoosh! A sand spur shot out from Qi Kang's feet, and it was so fast that it cut Qi Kong in half in the blink of an eye. This is the desert sword. It cuts from the bottom up. Lao Sha's move can cut a Kainu's existence in half. Again, Qi Kong can't do anything else but be fast. The moment he discovered something strange, Qi Kong had already disappeared from the spot. He used the high-speed movement of constantly teleporting and shaving to adjust his position, and slowly approached Crocodile. Every time he teleports, he will use the clone technique to create a clone, trying to confuse Lao Sha. Facing Qi Kong from all directions, Crocodile smiled disdainfully. Interesting ability. Good speed. I approve of you. Yoho. Lao Sha recognized it. From this point of view, the way Xiao moves and the speed of teleportation are enough to confuse Crocodile. Getting closer and closer to Crocodile, Qi Kong showed a confident smile on his lips. The 3 Magatama in the eyes of all the clones rotated and they stretched out their fingers at the same time. Lao Sha stared at Qi Kang's finger, thinking it was some kind of attack, but Qi Kang's strange rhythmic finger directly hit Lao Sha with genjutsu. Foam. The moment this skill hits, it can pull the target into a fantasy world, as if opening another timeline. This illusion will even bring out the most feared illusion in the target's heart. It is not an exaggeration to say that this genjutsu is Qi Kang's strongest genjutsu at this stage. Genjutsu begins. Kang stopped and instantly appeared in front of Lao Sha, with his hands forming the seal, water-style water prison technique. Lao Sha looked puzzled. How could he be so calm and ready to attack in front of him? As a sand blade was swung out, Lao Sha directly slashed Kang with his sword and dispersed the sand blade confidently. Pretending to be cool in front of me. Who gave you the courage? At this time, Kang suddenly turned into a dark crow wrapped in black smoke and kept flying, and soon turned into his true body again. He just looked at Lao Sha, motionless, half smiling, and filled with the atmosphere of a horror movie. Suddenly, Lao Sha's left hand squirmed and the golden hook fell to the ground. What's going on? My hand. When Lao Sha was excited and confused, another frightening voice came from the right side of his face. Half of his head suddenly turned into half a white beard. The white beard squirmed half of his face and said. Seeing this face, Lao Sha suddenly raised his knife and cut off his left hand again. Is this really your hand? Hu la la la. Immediately afterwards, a red mark suddenly appeared on the neck of Kang's body, and the bloodline expanded. Hu la la la. How does Kang Yunchi taste? ... You gave up on yourself when you were pursuing external power. After that stabbing, did you lose the courage to face yourself? Am I right? Are you a fool who dreams of One Piece? Then, a bloody light suddenly appeared. Ivankov, shut up. Don't say it. Don't say it. At this moment, in the eyes of the senior agent, the sand that Lao Sha waved disappeared. This is a big-headed doll, Ivankov, one of Lao Sha's nightmares. With just an impact of spiritual will, Lao Sha returned to reality. When Lao Sha looked at his left hand in confusion, his stomach felt irregular again. The speed that ordinary people can hardly capture with the naked eye is just like Kang disappearing in an instant. Did the hand I cut off grow back? But, he reflects a semi-feminine old sand face. Suddenly Ivankov blinked and smiled. How is it? Are you still used to using this body? Lao Sha panicked, and habitually reached out to the big-headed doll with his right hand. Genjutsu ends. Desert sword. After saying this, Crocodile's arm turned into a sand blade. It's just the light of a firefly after all. Fake. This is all fake. Break it for me. Kang sighed. As expected of Crocodile, this powerful will was easily overcome by the interference of this genjutsu. Kang's face still maintained the ecstatic expression of success, but his eyes had lost their sparkle and looked confused. The next moment, Kang around him was like a burst balloon, and everyone turned into farts one after another. After Lao Sha came back to his senses, he seemed to have had a dream. He didn't even know how he got hypnosis. Kang's Sharingan pupils suddenly rotated and contracted. That's not right. Crocodile, your hand has obviously been chopped off. But even my medical skills can't cure it. He also realized what was going on. Crocodile said coldly, you shouldn't let me recall the past. You are very good, but it's a pity. UP******** D me off. No matter who you are, you will die. Crocodile can possess such a will, so Kang suspected that Lao Sha's level of domineering might not be low. At this time, his left hand moved on its own, and he opened his hand to face his master, Lao Sha. Breaking the ring. Such a fast knife. Crocodile confidently dispersed the sand blade again. Chapter 109 Imadara said. Secure Asset Portal. Your trusted source for secure and informative digital assets. Register with your real phone number and get bonus just for registering. Try for free. Just when Lao Sha thought the dust had settled, victory or defeat had been decided. Kang's headless body jumped up like a zombie, and his head and body split into two identical Kang individuals. Their movements were slow and sluggish, but they were approaching Crocodile unswervingly. Lao Shian had quick hands and stabbed with the golden hook, easily killing the two clones. But what was surprising was that after the clones fell, they split into four new Kang. Crocodile frowned, realizing something. Hypnosis again. Is it those eyes? Lao Sha guessed right. He was hit by genjutsu again. This time the pupil technique was activated through his eyes. This time genjutsu is not a mental shock, but a simple deception, true and false. At this time, Crocodile no longer paid attention to these clones, and wanted to use his willpower to break through genjutsu's control. Suddenly he raised his hook into the air. Ding! There was a harsh sound of metal clashing, and the kunai clenched in Kang's hand collided fiercely with Crocodile's golden hook. Sparks flew everywhere, making Crocodile's eyelids twitch while he was holding a cigar. At this time, Kang, who was out of Lao Sha's field of vision, had already launched a roundhouse kick. The fish-man monster has fists, thousands of tiles, and belly meat. Poof! In Crocodile's shocked perception, a pair of legs in the air hit his stomach. At this moment, his elementalization is useless. Kang is delighted. As expected, the chakra attachment attack has a hockey-like effect. He has a similar method of domineering, and his fruit ability, which is extremely effective on ordinary people, is not invincible. At this moment, Lao Sha finally looked Kang in the face. He was not armed and domineering, but he could hit himself. He admitted that he had made some miscalculations and did not separate the elements in advance. At this time, Kang saw Lao Sha vomiting blood, and wanted to cooperate with this real and fake reality illusion to continue attacking, without giving him a chance to resist. The clones rushed towards Crocodile. Lao Sha ignored it and let the clone point to his forehead. He actually gave someone a nod. Lao Sha was angry and looked into the air. His voice came out coldly. It's funny, you affected my senses, but who do you think I am? Even if I don't look, I know where you are. Crocodile's body twisted strangely, as if he could inspire countless sand-made blades at any time. In Kang's perception, chakra is still affecting Lao Sha's nervous system. There is only one possibility for this situation. He said FK, started to form seals, and invested a huge amount of chakra to transform the water attribute. This is so domineering and powerful. As Crocodile gritted his teeth, the yin attribute chakra was directly dispersed by the inexplicable force, and genjutsu was directly broken by him. Die. Lao Sha waved his right hand lightly, and a sand blade flew out. The perfect kill, whether it was speed, strength, or attack timing, was all just right, heading straight for Kang. The sand blade and flying knife were sent out at the same time. Water-style water formation pillar. Kang gathered the evaporated water vapor, and a gushing water began to condense and rotate into a water column. This is a water column that is stronger than the water barrier. The current strongest defense is water style, which should be enough defense to make Lao Sha throw the rat away. Create water out of thin air. You can't keep it. Lao Sha was a little angry, and the sand blade got wet. He paused briefly and then switched to the water-absorbing blade. Kang saw this scene clearly. Crocodile is actually transforming the water-absorbing properties of sand. Kang was forming seals quickly in the water curtain and observing Lao Sha's movements through the water wall. He was dumbfounded. At this time, the water column was almost sucked dry by Lao Sha's arc moon-shaped dunes. As Guzhou Donkey exhausted, boy, this hypnosis is very interesting. Crocodile was about to taunt, when his eyes suddenly shrank, and a desert shield instantly formed on his right hand. Lao Sha actually used modeling magic again. Forget about the knife, there is also a shield. Unexpected and reasonable. Lao Sha, you are the boss. How can you learn to be a sword and shield soldier so poorly? Kang complained in his heart, but his murderous intention remained undiminished. Stab it. A small and fast stream of water shoots out from the water curtain, which seems to be able to split gold and break rocks easily. As the sand shield was quickly cut by this water flow, the sharp water flow was about to hit Crocodile. Just when Kang thought there was a chance, the water flow in the middle was quickly absorbed strangely, causing the attack power to be greatly reduced. In the end, only a trace of blood was left on Lao Sha. Water absorption again. Even the fastest, water-style water-breaking wave, within 7 steps can't be played. This is a joke. However, what is certain is that there seems to be a delay of about 1 second when changing the shape of the sand and switching to the water-absorbing ability. In the past, Lao Sha's specific strength could not be felt at all in anime, only his weaknesses were obvious. Now through comparison, the facts tell him that Lao Sha may have film-level strength. Crocodile looked at his wounds, his eyes narrowed slightly, filled with murderous intent. That's right. Apart from that person, you are the first one who gave me a frightening impulse. Lao Sha started to get serious, but Kang didn't want to play anymore. Maybe you can win, but other people are not just watching the show. The intelligence collection was almost done, except for the armed information, he didn't force it out. I have basically seen Fruit Awakening, basic skills, etc. Unseen Ring Break, Hedgehog Sand Blade, Sight Color, Modeling Ability, Transformation Ability, etc. Not to say that it is exactly the same as the character designed by Oda, I can only say that it is a bit different. Oda was sluggishly releasing his skills back and forth, and the strongest trump card he finally pulled out was a poisonous hook. Old Sha Kikong here couldn't even pick out his trump card. The GM definitely adjusted the difficulty of the dungeon. No, it's also possible that Luffy is not here and his wisdom aura has not been activated. Or does Lao Sha know Straw Hat? The Sea of Sand is also a sea, and it can also be released into the sea. Kong tossed his messy hair, threw out a few detonating talismans, and began to form seals under the cover of the explosion. The gravel is not even half as good as mine, so lousy doesn't play anymore. Fire-style dust hide. As a burst of high-temperature smoke was exhaled, the smoke instantly covered the confined space, turning it into a sauna. Madara said, there is no shame in retreating strategically. Where there is life, there is hope. A gentleman's revenge is never too late. A man can bend and stretch. 30 years in Hedong, 30 years in Hexi. Kang successively performed 3 water body techniques, mixed with a shadow clone and the main body, and just 5, Kang, rushed towards the stairs. The final character line, Crocodile, the slave family recognizes your strength. But the slave family will never give up. The glory of the way of the demon will never be extinguished. When the slave family makes a comeback, I will dance with you on the battlefield again. Stop him. Crocodile roared angrily, turning into rolling sand and tracking him away. This weird enemy cannot surrender to him and must be killed. However, the group of agents is now in a state of chaos. My ability must be seen before it can be activated. Sorry Mr. Zero. S asterisk 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 E. Invincible. S asterisk 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 E. Invincible. Who kicked me? Is it you Mr. 2? You are looking for death. Hey, stop fighting. Who took advantage of this and touched my A asterisk? Yes, I'm sorry. I can't see. I can't see. Crocodile's veins popped out. This group of rubbish. They can't even stop one person. If the plan didn't require it, I really want to chop them all with a knife. Shalon. A sharp storm swept across, and Lao Sha gritted his teeth as he looked at the devastated basement. As the smoke was dispersed, Mr. 1 and Mr. 2 were still playing ping pong. Except for Mr. 1, everyone else had more or less cuts and wounds on their bodies. Mr. 2 and Ms. come with me all Sunday. Everyone else, get out of here and do the tasks. Crocodile roared angrily. The agents dispersed instantly. The boss's every move from Sha Lan made them so embarrassed. Ms. Singles Day is indeed a ruthless person. Chapter 110 The Kid Who Was Deceived, sent information. Mr. 2, how did you and this guy named Patty know each other? Tell me every bit of it. Lao Sha had to guard against this guy who wanted his own life at any time and had weird abilities. Von Clay tapped his toes and began to fall into warm memories. It was a passionate afternoon full of love. Von Clay began to talk about the process of meeting Chi Kang's way of being a transvestite, his hobbies, etc. Listening to the story, Lao Sha's face became darker and darker. If you believe in the way of you are a good person. What the hell kind of brain circuit is this? Even the sea cat is not spared, so he doesn't look like a good person, right? Oh boy, if you have any grudges, just come to the slave family. The slave family has no complaints or regrets. Patty Dabo's dream is to promote the way of transvestites, which is the same as the way of slaves. I am willing to bear your wrath on behalf of my best friend. Mr. Zero felt a little disgusted when he heard this. These dead she-males. Mr. 2 you won't betray me, right? Lao Sha narrowed his eyes. But Xiaofeng was not afraid at all and expressed his ideal. The slave family won't. The slave family will follow you to create the ideal land of transvestites and promote the concept of transvestites. This is what Patty Dabo and I have agreed on. As he said this, Xiaofeng jumped up and said with passion, "Ah. I seem to have seen an ideal land full of love between human beings and monsters." Crocodile covered his face, he could feel that what Xiaofeng said was true. What a simple e. It's a pity that Patty Dabo has to take the Shichibukai sacrifice flag, otherwise he might be a good subordinate. What a pity. What a pity. Nicole Robin on the side was having a hard time enduring it. What is this and what is it? I have to say that this guy Chi Kong is very playful. Go and complete your mission, Mr. 2. If you can contact Ms. Single Day, tell him there are 7 Shichibukai in total. If he is willing to become my subordinate, how about giving him a Shichibukai head? Crocodile said domineeringly. It's not his fault. Except for Hawkeye, he is not even interested in taking a look at any other Shichibukai. As long as he has Pluten, he doesn't even care about the world government. Xiaofeng felt Lao Sha's kindness and said without knowing why, oh boy. Could it be that you have admitted our way of being as Xiaofeng turned around, stood still and turned to look at Lao Sha. Would you like to do as dance? Crocodile breathed heavily, and for some reason he thought of the nightmare that broke his defense. The Demon King Ivankov, he probably didn't expose my secret. Rainland, this prosperous area is not only the territory where Lao Sha dominates, but also the famous gold-selling den of the Alabasta Kingdom. There is inexhaustible water here, there are peerless beauties with all kinds of charms, and there is luxury enjoyment comparable to that of the royal family. However, all of these are built on the basis of money. In this casino called Rain Feast, the gamblers' wealth was squandered like running water. Those who were once drunk and dreamy, after depleting their wealth overnight, can only wander around the corners of the city like bereaved dogs. While they struggled to survive, they stared at the unsuspecting prey with greed and fanaticism. No, someone grabbed Chi Kong. Boy, hand over the money. Chi Kong said with a trembling face, brother, I have no money. If you don't believe me, I can search it for you. The passerby who robbed Chi Kong took him into a back alley and touched Chi Kang's body, finding that his pockets were indeed cleaner than his face. Crazy. You've lost all your money and why don't you hurry up and get out? It's a waste of Lousy's time. 10 seconds later, the two levels reversed. Passerby looked flattering. Cauldron. This is all my belongings, 100,000 Baileys. Chi Kong, who had taken Bailey, shook his long flowing hair and took a sip of disdain. What's your level, do you have long hair? Just as Chi Kong turned around, the back door opened wide and a cold light flashed. Go to hell, my money is not so easy to get. Poof. Blood splattered everywhere. The world is quiet. A little girl passing by witnessed all this and shivered in the corner. Chi Kong hesitated slightly. After confirming that it was safe, Chi Kong settled down. At this moment, he was eating the steamed buns baked by Little Red Riding Hood, which are poor people's food made from soil and flour. This was very satisfying for the little girl. An extremely simple shack is isolated in this forgotten corner. He probably thought of a picture. When his father couldn't see anyone all day long because of the country, Little Red Riding Hood was left alone, eating one meal and becoming a beggar. After Chi Kong read it, he learned about Vivi's subsequent actions and stuffed another piece of paper into Dark Crow. But he didn't go into details about how his father stopped him. He thought it was probably the rebels or something like that. He believes that as long as the cancer is eliminated and Alabasta's problem is solved, everything will be fine. Psychic art. Take me to find a place to live, and the money will be yours. Chi Kong shook his head gently. Such tragedies were common here, and he couldn't control them even if he wanted to. Chi Kong comforted himself. Originally Chi Kong wanted to chase Little Red Riding Hood away, but maybe Little Red Riding Hood felt that Chi Kong was not a bad person and refused to leave. Shi Kong didn't expect that this kid would rub his hands into a shack. Artina and Smoker hunting together. Ace's persuasion failed. While talking to himself, Shi Kong slapped his hands on the ground. Shi Kong still had to make some preparations to deal with Crocodile, so he didn't plan to go back and just waited for his friends in the rain. Little Red Riding Hood just said mysteriously and confidently, Daddy went to stop the war, and the country will recover soon. Shi Kong asked where his father had gone. This little girl was taciturn and always wore a striking red hat, so Shi Kong called her, Little Red Riding Hood. This is intelligence and my plan. But they are all slums, and a place to shelter from the wind and rain is enough. Dumb. Dark Crow called twice and threw out a note. Cursed seals surged around, and the Dark Crow appeared with a bang sound. Go. Reward yours. Go indulge. Shi Kong thinks this Little Red Riding Hood is very powerful, and it can be considered. Rainland, slums. The Dark Crow nodded and dropped 7 baits, as if to say. He looked like he was kneeling and licking, and at the same time his facial expression seemed to say, how about a few more? When asked why, Little Red Riding Hood said the reason why she didn't want to leave, waiting for her father to come back. He began to digest the memories of Shadow Clone, relived the happy times on the ship, and then made himself an X-bandage. Although it was meaningless to him, it was a symbol of companionship. He threw 20,000 belly and threw it at the little girl's feet. Shi Kong just wanted to say, Zoro, sorry, it's finally my turn. Shi Kong put away the bait with a look of emotion on his face. Dark Crow actually endured it for him for so long. Chapter 111 Vivi and the Revolutionary Army. In the desert, Dark Crow is really awesome. While everyone was praising him, Dark Crow elegantly combed his feathers, almost turning up his nose. After experiencing a desert adventure, everyone was refreshed and continued on the road. Nami and Vivi's mount became the focus of the audience, a camel named Lash. This name was given by Nami, eyelashes and eyebrows. Someone seriously doubted who this was for. Because this camel has a quirk, only women are allowed to ride it, making it the Sanji of the camel world. Sanji and its big eyes looked at each other, as if they saw themselves in each other's eyes. Sanji. Brother, I understand you. Lash, man, even if you look at me like this, I refuse to be a man's car. Of course, if you are AS***********, I can consider it. Vivi jumped off the camel and said, let's take a rest on the sand dunes ahead. At this speed, we'll get there soon. Luffy was lying under the sand dune, with a childish look on his face, and shouted, where is Chi Kong? Why hasn't he followed up yet? I want water. It's so hot. Why can't I make water? At this time, Sanji jumped out and cursed Luffy, you didn't drink all the bucket of water by yourself. You idiot. Why do the medicines for treating idiots have no effect on you at all? Luffy looked up weakly, I'm so hungry. Sanji, is dinner ready? Seeing this, Sanji restrained his arrogant expression and said, wait for me. I want to serve lady first. At this time, the dark crow on Nami's head suddenly disappeared with a pop. Nami's eyes were filled with joy, and at the same time she breathed a sigh of relief. Everyone saw this scene. Ah, where's the dark crow? I didn't say eat it. Luffy looked confused. Zoro put down the stupid chopper and smiled crookedly when he saw the dark crow disappear. Nami finally began to confess. Chi Kong said that he was going to collect information about Crocodile. The moment when Dark Crow was summoned by him was when he wanted to pass on the information. The others suddenly realized that only Luffy and Chopper thought Chi Kong had just left and came back with news, and their eyes were filled with stars. Bang! Dark Crow suddenly appeared where he disappeared and landed firmly next to Nami. Dumb. Dark Crow stretched out his paw and handed Nami a note. Information from Chi Kong. Everyone, come here. After watching it for a while, everyone knew that this was information from a senior agent of Baroque Works. So comprehensive, worthy of being a ninja. When they saw Crocodile's information, everyone was silent for a while. As expected of Shichibukai. As strong as Hawkeye, Sha Lan, Desert Sword, Arc Moon-shaped Dune, Sha Shuo Blade. As long as he has seen the skills, Chi Kong has detailed the power and effects of each skill. Later, there were also things like S***X, water absorption, modeling, etc., which made everyone feel powerless for a while, but Luffy was laughing and looking unconcerned. I just need to fight him off. No problem. I just need to eat enough. I can definitely fight him off. Seeing Luffy's iconic smile, Usopp's fear was diluted. Although Nami was scared, she still chose to trust her partner and encourage the blue-haired girl beside her. Don't worry, Vivi. Idiots are very powerful. The nightmare in my heart was cured by Luffy and the others. When everyone is smiling, Luffy patted his belly and announced with great enthusiasm, so, friends. Let's go and defeat the rebels. The captain ordered. Wait a minute, Luffy. We're going to eat right now. However, just as everyone was preparing to eat. Hey, where's the food? In the vast territory of the Alabasta Kingdom, the Santo River is like a natural watershed, dividing the kingdom into east and west parts. To the east of the kingdom, the majestic royal capital stands in the north, while the town of Catalan, filled with a strong sense of resistance, lies quietly in the south. The two cities are like two opposing stars embedded at both ends of this ancient land. Catalan town. This town is the base camp of the rebels. When a telephone pole was pressed down here, 8 out of 10 people were rebels. Everyone stepped here and were thinking about how to find the revolutionary army. At this time, Usopp walked straight towards a civilian holding a weapon with a, look at it, expression. I am Alabasta's greatest warrior, Usopp. I want to join the rebel army. How do I get there? Open your mouth and come, Usopp. Usopp's bold and direct expression did not cause too much surprise. In the town of Catalan, there is already an endless stream of people who are full of enthusiasm and defect to the rebel army, and his behavior seems to be commonplace here. After hearing this, the civilian in question just raised his hand casually and pointed in the direction to the rebel camp. In this way, everyone arrived at the rebel camp speechless. This rebel army really accepts everyone who comes. Inside the rebel camp, a cry of surprise broke the tense atmosphere. Vivi. This person was Kosha, the leader of the rebel army. He looked at the woman in front of him, and the shock in his heart was beyond words. He and Vivi were childhood sweethearts, and they even saved Vivi's life. When they were young, Kosha was the leader of the Shasha group, and Vivi was the deputy leader. As time goes by, the playmates of those days have now differentiated, and many of the Shasha group partners have become the backbone or leaders of the rebel army. Vivi, what happened now? What are you doing here? Kosha stopped Vivi, who was stepping forward. He looked at his childhood friend with particularly complicated eyes. If it hadn't been for 3 years of continuous drought, if it hadn't been for the tragic situation of the country being ruined and the family being destroyed, maybe they could still maintain that innocent friendship. Vivi saw the indifference in Kosha's eyes and shouted. My father must have told you something, right? All of this is. But before Vivi could finish her words, he was greeted by public outrage. The daughter of the scumbag king. Stop trying to deceive us with lies. It was clearly promised for 1 year, and 1 year after another, and 1 year after another. Public resentment surged in, surrounding Vivi. Vivi bit her lip, feeling aggrieved. Since the dancing fans incident, the image of the royal family and the credibility of the government have fallen to the bottom. Now there is a royal family in the Revolutionary Army. Of course, they are attacking in groups. With these curses, suppressed emotions began to explode in the camp. Luffy pouted, crossed his arms and sat cross-legged on the ground, shaking his feet to divert his attention. Although he was angry, he knew that some things could not be solved by violence. This was what he learned from Vivi. Quiet. As the leader of the rebel army, even if Kosa is extremely disappointed with the royal family, at least he still has great trust in Vivi, who he has played with since childhood. Just when he waved to calm down the rebels behind him, sudden changes occur. Bang. There was a gunshot, and a bullet flew out of the chaotic crowd behind him, hitting Vivi's head at high speed. This makes it clear that he is planning to kill someone and silence him. He won't let Vivi continue talking. Facing the threat so close at hand, Vivi, who was completely unprepared, had no time to dodge and could only let the bullets rapidly expand in her pupils. The members of the Baroque working group who were hiding among the rebels were delighted. Got it. Get a promotion and raise your salary, marry Bai Fume, and reach the pinnacle of life, today. At this critical moment, ding. At some point, Zoro had drawn his sword, pointed the tip of the sword proudly, and the trajectory of the bullet changed instantly. Hey, hey, hey. Why don't we chop them all down? Zoro said angrily. Chapter 112 The Name of Nefertari. Luffy jumped out when he heard Zoro's words. His excited expression seemed to say, are we about to start a fight? This kind of scene is left to the captain. Upon seeing this, Nami raised his fist and looked at the two people who were looking for presents. The momentum of the ship Tyrant made Luffy and Zoro instantly feel a chill from the soles of their feet to the sky. The two of them took a step back in unison, with, we just made a little joke, written on their faces. Usopp showed his head from behind Sanji, pointed in a direction, and affirmed, Sanji, it was that person who fired the gun. Sanji's face was terrifyingly dark. He walked towards the rebels step by step and looked at a figure who was shrinking back. The rebels immediately held Sanji up with their guns and asked, you, what are you going to do? Sanji showed his domineering side, without raising his head, with one hand in his pocket and a cigarette in the other. Everyone was shocked by this heavy pace. You, get out of here, Sanji roared angrily. A figure was kicked out of the rebel army by Sanji, with a shoehorn mark on his face. The musket still smoking on this man's waist clearly indicated that he was the killer who had just been shot. Sanji turned into a demon face and stepped on the man's chest. You are from Baroque Studio, right? Do you know the consequences of attacking Lady? The man began to quibble. I'm not, I didn't. Don't slander others. Sanji smiled slightly and said, according to the information from the fishing guy, all low-level personnel in Baroque will have the organization's logo tattooed on their bodies. What? How could you? Oops. The man instantly realized that he had said the wrong thing. Luffy's aura is so scary. With the help of the Baroque agent, the leader of the rebel army, Kosha, took a step forward. He had already smelled a hint of conspiracy. Kosha immediately called to his right and left hand, who were also members of the Shasha group, Kebi. Find all the guys with such tattoos immediately. Torture them. Kebi nodded to Vivi and went down with a group of confidants. Like Kosha, he believed in Vivi, but the rebels didn't have the final say. Kosha gritted his teeth and looked at Sanji, full of confusion. Are you talking about Baroque Works? That mysterious bounty hunter organization? Sanji stepped back gentlemanly and made way for Vivi behind him. Leave the stage to Lady, your princess will tell you everything. Vivi looked at the growing number of civilians or rebels surrounding her. These people were skinny and there was no light in their eyes. She burst into tears and bowed first. I am the princess of this kingdom, Neferutari Vivi. On behalf of the royal family, I solemnly apologize to everyone. I'm sorry that all this has happened to you living in this kingdom. In the past few years, because of the royal family's inaction, Vivi's apology is indeed atonement. Many onlookers began to wipe away tears, and these words really touched their hearts. Some people's lives are really hard, but they wouldn't be like this if they had food to eat. With a wife and children on the hotbed, who wants to make a revolution? However, if an apology is useful, what else can they do to revolutionize it? Vivi, is that the person you are talking about? Kosha tried to ask. Kosha had already seen the king's envoy, and even he felt that this was Cobra's delaying strategy. Vivi nodded with firm eyes. Today, I will make the truth known to the public. Kosha shook his head and sighed. After a while. What? Patronus. Hero Crocodile is the mastermind behind this. Impossible. How could it be? Shichibukai. The rebel cadres were very calm after hearing Vivi's words. They were high-level officials and knew some information, but they had different ideas. The hero Crocodile, who was once regarded as the savior, is now accused of being the mastermind behind the plan to overthrow the kingdom of Alabasta. Everyone in the audience is confused. This is all true. Our hero is the mastermind behind all this. However, in the face of doubts, Princess Vivi did not flinch, her voice was clear and resolute. Crocodile's reputation in Alabasta has surpassed that of King Cobra, and some even desire him to replace him. But Princess Vivi's firm eyes didn't seem to be fake, so this answer was unacceptable to many people. Impossible. This must be a conspiracy of the royal family. Kosha, I don't believe her. A small boss next to Kosha roared indignantly. He was one of Crocodile's supporters. One word stirred up 1,000 waves. Princess Vivi's determination is like a ray of light that penetrates the dark clouds and shines on the turbulent land of Alabasta. I, Nefertari Vivi, and my companions will put an end to this. Alabasta, a country full of devastation, will exude vitality and vitality again. He also thought about what if the dancing fan incident was really caused by Crocodile. The rain will fall. The civil strife will end. All lies and deception will disappear in the face of the truth. I don't need anything from you. Vivi's words were impactful and caused ripples. 3 days. Bet all the reputation and glory of the royal family. Even if you are a princess, a king's daughter, you can't belittle our heroes like this. You don't need to believe it completely. This oath is full of historical significance. Kosha's voice was filled with disbelief and a hint of excitement. Vivi. Is this, what you said is true? These words made the rebels below stunned. I swear in the name of Neferutari, who ruled Alastan for 800 years. At this moment, some people saw light in their eyes, which was something called hope. Bet all the reputation and glory of the royal family. Then what these people do is not to overthrow the tyrant, but to help him do evil. Prestige can easily create die-hard loyalists, and rebels can be found in everyone. What Vivi said is probably to divide the rebels. It will all end. It only hurts those close to you and makes enemies happy. Compared to what Cobra has done over the years, Crocodile's character is really perfect. Yes, that's right. Why did he do this as a Shichibukai? At this time, Vivi shouted to the confused people. It can't be our hero. I was once saved from pirates by him. 3 days. Faced with questions, Kosha said nothing. 3 days. This idea arises in many people's minds. You've survived 3 years, and you still have 3 days to go. He believed in Vivi and the king, but because the facts always slapped him in the face, he was always hesitant. Just need to wait 3 days. In fact, he was not the only one to think of this. Some elders and people wearing glasses had thought of it, but where was the evidence? Maybe she can really do it. Vivi raised her arms, full of tears, and her voice echoed throughout the countryside. Chapter 114 Demonic Killifish, date. In the rainy place, beside the pond surrounding the rain feast. The surrounding pool was bustling with people, and many fishermen came in droves, but they had to pay a high pit fee, a full 2,000 belly. This city is greedily sucking people's blood and sweat. Crocodile deserves to be rich. Kang hung up the last piece of special bait, yawned and threw out the fishing rod. At this time, he did not use the transformation technique to become anyone, and just took Little Red Riding Hood to fish here openly. The most dangerous place is also the safest place. And what he is fishing for is not fish, but loneliness. The fact is that while he was observing Yu Yan, he was also collecting information and waiting for a possible date with a young lady. Are they the ones leaving today? Kang murmured. He had been there all morning, and early this morning he saw a banana crocodile type F crocodile car leaving the rainy area. Kang was very suspicious that Lao Sha and Nicole Robin had left. Little Red Riding Hood, prepare to copy the net. A fisherman will never fly in the Air Force. Accompanied by Kang's steady and powerful voice, one-tailed strange fish appeared in response. Its surface has a sheen like gravel, and its color is as bright as rainbow. It is about 20 centimeters long and weighs 2 kilograms. The colorful guys, Kang now avoids them like snakes and scorpions. However, the physical constitution of 0.4 inches strong contract shows that this fish is good. It looks good and is worth collecting. Kang has already given it a good name, Shikai. Little Red Riding Hood on the side kept shouting, wow, with admiration in her eyes, which not only benefited Kang, but also attracted the attention of the fishing guys around her. At first, When the fishing guys next to him saw that Kang had actually caught strange things like rocks, they all stayed away as if they had seen a ghost. But when this legendary demon fish appeared in front of everyone, everyone was stunned. The devil Medaka is an extremely rare fish that is said to have tens of thousands of years of ancient bloodline. It is even regarded as a treasure in the kingdom of Alabasta. Countless senior fishing enthusiasts come here because of this, and it is precisely because of this place that there have been records of the occasional appearance of magic Medaka, which has also made the business in this ring pond boom. Kang didn't know all this. He just thought that the fish was inedible, so he just threw it into the fish bucket and threw out the fishing rod. At this moment, Petals suddenly turned into a hand and appeared at Kang's feet, grabbing Kang's thigh. The fish is hooked. However, this terrifying scene of flowers blossoming under the crotch made Kang unconsciously feel chills on his back, and his hole tightened. Fortunately, she was not using it in a dirty way. The Wawa fruit is very powerful, but sometimes Kang feels that Nicole Robin's fruit development direction is too serious. What's the use of crotch removal? Killing for 1,000 years is so useful. One is used and the other is silent. Of course, forget it about your own people. Kang closed the fishing rod and shook off the water plants on the fishing rod with a look of disgust. Little Red Riding Hood, don't move around here. I will take you home later. Following Robin's hint, he moved to the cafe near Yuyan, where sat an intellectual woman with outstanding temperament, Nicole Robin. It is very remote and sparsely populated, so it is indeed a good place for a date. At this time, Robin was sitting at the door of the cafe, drinking coffee comfortably. It seemed to be her afternoon tea time. Nicole Robin joked without raising her head, "You look very laid back. What should I call you?" Kang, Erida Ms. Singles Day. Kang shook his flowing hair and walked straight to sit opposite Robin. Robin is not afraid, which means that Lao Sha has stepped out of the house and vacated his position. After sitting down, Kang looked at the 2 cups of coffee on the table, hesitated slightly, picked up Robin's coffee under Robin's strange eyes and started to drink it. Don't ask, this is called caution. He is afraid of being poisoned, not kissing in disguise. This is too bitter. What kind of broken coffee? Cat poop coffee, Nico Robin said with a playful look on Kaido. Kang swallowed the coffee in his mouth, keeping a calm face, and said, "Actually, I prefer drinking bird droppings flavor. I can't get used to this taste." After saying that, he pushed back the coffee calmly and added, "I'll treat you to a drink next time." Bird poop coffee. Is there such a thing? Robin was already used to the Straw Hat Crew's mental retardation, and quietly pushed over a piece of paper. Kang took the note handed over by Robin and began to look at it. There is only one reminder above. Shocked, Crocodile and his main cadres will gather in the capital of Alabasta, Albana. Kang knows that Nicole Robin's goal is also the text of history, so being able to do this means. Robin is still very gentle. Kang looked thoughtful after reading the information. Sure enough, Lao Sha had left. However, he just caught some fish, and Lao Sha jumped into the trap. Is this the end of the country? Is he crazy, or is the world government falling? Because there was not much information, Kang now thought that Lao Sha wanted to use force to conquer the country. Kang looked at Robin and found that the young lady was in a daze, so he gave up the idea of threatening her. At this time, Nicole Robin looked at the gray sky with dull eyes. Her purpose is only the text of history. The rise and fall of the kingdom is not in her plan. Maybe it is the mercy of the son of the devil. She gave a hint so that these fools wouldn't get away with it. However, it is limited to prompts. Robin still sneered at defeating Crocodile. Robin picked up Kang's cup of coffee and tasted it, hiding the sadness deep in his heart with comfort. The so-called historical text will be available soon. If you hear the Tao in the morning, you will die in the evening. That's what she's pursuing as an O'Hara scholar. Information is very important. Miss Robin, you are such a good person. Kang said sweetly. Psychic art. Kang summoned the Dark Crow and said to it. This information comes from Miss Nico Robin, remember to make it clear, especially to Luffy and Vivi. Dumb. As the channeling was lifted, Kang explained to Robin while arranging the bait. Whose credit belongs to whom, this is all considered as pirate dividends, you will understand later. Robin almost spit out her coffee. What did she see? Collect bird poop. This pervert doesn't really drink this, does he? Zoro. I have something to say. Hey, do you want me to tell you about pirate dividends and the system on our ship? Seeing Robin stunned, Kang waved his hand to bring her back from her thoughts. Robin swallowed and shook off the bird poop coffee that kept appearing. She knew what Kang meant, and it seemed that he hadn't given up on trying to get her on board. Dividends and the like mean nothing to her. However, these fools can take advantage of it. Maybe joining the Straw Hat Crew temporarily. May I? Thinking of a bunch of funny guys, she suddenly shook her head in her heart. Whether these guys and myself can survive is still a question. Joining the forces, betraying the forces, wandering wherever she goes, this is her wandering life. Thinking of this, Robin suddenly felt very tired. She took a sip of coffee and spoke slowly with a calm face. Curiously, you have seen how powerful he is, why don't you give up? She asked with confusion. Chapter 115 The Fisherman's Perseverance and Change of Goal. Secure Asset Portal, your trusted source for secure and informative digital assets. Register with your real phone number and get bonus just for registering. Try for free. Here it comes. The little sister is starting to get curious. This is fatal. As the saying goes, curiosity can kill meow. Nico Robin. Straw Hat can't live without you. Just like pirates can't live without Uchiha Kang. Kang felt that if he was having fun with serious people, he should have something to show off. After looking around, he took Robin's coffee and put it to his mouth, took a sip and said seriously. Give up. Don't you also not give up. Death is not terrible, the terrible thing is that your dreams have stagnated, isn't it? Our dream? Robin asked in surprise. Kang nodded affirmatively. His dream is to go on adventures with the Straw Hat Pirates and watch everyone realize their dreams. So, of course you can count on that too. Nicole Robin. It's just that Kang was afraid of embarrassment and didn't say it. He is so gentle. Robin looked at the guy who knew her well and said jokingly, so, what is my dream? Kang adjusted his non-existent glasses and said, the truth of history is your dream, and it is also the dream of being an O'Hara scholar. That blank. Shut up, Robin yelled. Sweat finally began to form on her forehead. This man is really not afraid of death, and he talks about such taboo topics as exploring the truth of history. Buster called to find out. Okay. Your intelligence work is very poor. Now I don't want to let you and your partners go. Robin said coldly. Seeing Nico Robin's reaction, Kang just smiled. Anyway, our captain will explain it to you in detail. I am just a fisherman. You still have to rely on the human trafficker Luffy to rob people. After all, Robin has a complicated impression of him, and talking too much may be counterproductive. Haha, you suddenly made me have no desire to join. Nicole Robin had a mocking look on her face, an expression of, if I'm not happy, what can you do to me? Kang squinted at Nico Robin, the heat of the coffee covering his face. Remember, none of the people our straw hats like can run away. Of course. He smiled evilly and continued, you can also try to escape. Nicole Robin was sweating. She was so convinced that she wanted to rob someone, and he was a guy who knew her past experiences. As expected, these people are either fools or lunatics. Kang put down the cup he was using to show off. Let's get down to business, I want to ask you something. He pointed to the sky and said seriously, tell me where I can get that thing. What Kang hinted at was dancing fan, as for its use. Of course, it was to make crocodile trapped in a cocoon. Laosh's ability to absorb water is terrible, and this kind of continuous rain should be enough to defeat him. Goodbye in the desert behind the rain feast. After saying that, Nicole Robin stood up without looking back. Robin had not taken a few steps when Kang appeared in an instant, leaving Robin with questions. One more thing, where is your boss's fish tank now? Kang wanted to catch a banana crocodile, but it was too late to practice. He could feel that Mangekyo was very close. Within 10 inches forced appointments, he can have those charming eyes. At that time, if Luffy couldn't beat him, he could still be safe. It's not that I don't believe in Luffy, it's just that I don't have enough power and I always feel uneasy. After hearing Kang's words, Robin's expression froze and he said with a sinister face, you don't really want banana crocodile to fall into some bullshit way of being do you? It doesn't matter whether they can get in or not, the main thing is to catch them. Kang Kaido. Robin. Are you serious? Kang. This is the persistence of the fishing guy. Robin. Psycho. Kang. Thank you. In the end, Kang got the location of the new fish tank. Time is tight and the task is heavy. So, he was going to say goodbye to Little Red Riding Hood. Rapeseed flowers near the desert. Nami caught the dark crow and shouted to everyone, Kang's new information. A group of people gathered quickly. After listening to this information, the scene fell into dead silence. Vivi's face turned pale, her knees softened, and she knelt down on the gravel. Her eyes were full of shock and worry. She couldn't believe the authenticity of the information and murmured. After finally bringing Crocodile's plan to steal the country to the brink of failure, he didn't expect Boss to stop acting immediately. What do you mean by me? Sanji lit a cigarette and looked puzzled. If this is the case, wouldn't we just click report now? When everyone was thinking about how to reach Albany quickly, there was a burst of flying sand and rocks on the desert horizon. As Crocodile crazy, Alabasta is a member of the world government. Usopp pointed at Merc Crow and asked loudly, Chopper, Merc Crow said the source of the intelligence was Nico Robin, right? Everyone narrowed their eyes and tacitly agreed to give Luffy a good beating first, it's not because you were exposed. Must be running fast and his friends. Luffy pressed his hat and smiled. Then the target, Albana. I want to defeat Crocodile. I want Nico Robin as my partner. Sanji raised his eyebrows and said dissatisfied, what are you talking about Usopp? Miss Robin didn't lie to us the first time. Nami understood Usopp's thoughts and analyzed while rubbing his chin. After the punching and kicking, everyone was in a happy mood. The last time they were so happy was when Laboon was there. Zoro crossed his arms. He believed in Kang the most, so he expressed his thoughts. I must have read the information sent by the fishing guy. He should have confirmed the authenticity of the information. Chopper nodded affirmatively. Although he didn't know the woman, Dark Crow definitely meant this. The captain gave the order, then. Vivi looked happy after hearing this. Usopp means that the woman may be a member of the Baroque studio. This information may be a cover, and its authenticity needs to be verified. I trust my partner's intelligence. Sugai, ×3. But soon, another problem appeared in front of everyone. The Rapeseed port is all marine. If you go directly to Albana, the speed of the eyelashes is too slow. They are tall, short, fat and thin, with strange shapes. Usopp rotated his goggles and shouted, "It's a duck. Ducks that are as fast as they can run." Luffy, Chopper, and Usopp immediately had stars in their eyes. Unless the evidence is conclusive. Super Karoo Duck Force. Chopper translated. Quack, 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 quack. A series of duck calls came. Everyone's eyes were focused on Luffy, and the captain's order was the direction they were heading. Vivi shook her head, rejected Sanji's idea, and explained. Then, Zoro turned his eyes to Luffy. Then Captain. You decide. Although Usopp meant the same thing, this was what Nami said. Vivi's first reaction was surprisingly consistent with Kang's thoughts. The world government trusts Crocodile. And as you can see, he has a high reputation in my country. No one will believe it. These words made everyone ponder for a while. Are they in time? Vivi said seriously. I don't dare to bet. No matter whether the information is true or not, I will rush back to the royal capital and advance and retreat with the royal family. Chapter 116 Naraku's Hand, the cheating Little Red Riding Hood. When Kang returned to the fishing place, the crowd was crowded and crowded. At this time, Little Red Riding Hood hugged the fish bucket tightly and was having a fierce argument with a man in a gauze scarf. The people around him were talking about it and all showed curious eyes. This is our fish. Little Red Riding Hood was full of indignation, protecting Kang's fish bucket. Her voice was soft but firm. The gauze scarf man on the side was full of anger. He didn't expect Little Red Riding Hood to be so stubborn and hug the fish bucket tightly. There was a hint of sarcasm at the corner of his mouth. You fart. You are a little beggar who can't even catch fish. Do you know how valuable the fish you catch is? The gauze scarf man kicked Little Red Riding Hood arrogantly and cursed. Get out of here. You stinking beggar. As Little Red Riding Hood fell to the ground, the fish bucket was overturned, and the sand began to jump around randomly. The fishing guys who were watching were suddenly in an uproar. It's really a demon Medaka. The demonic killerfish of sand, the legendary holy object that means the arrival of a massive rainy season. Kang arrived late, and suddenly appeared in front of the scarf man, saying in a cold voice, pick up the fish. The veiled man responded nonchalantly, who are you? Do you know who I am? Laozi is from Baroque works. However, the murderous intent in Kang's eyes was as real as he repeated, pick up the fish. The gauze scarf man was frightened by Kang's eyes full of murderous intent, and stepped back repeatedly. Kang Sharingan appears, full of threats. You're not taking it, are you? Sharingan spun around. Asterisk. Genjutsu Hand of Naraku. The man was stunned. Kang in front of him was surrounded by a scarlet light mist, like a demon coming to earth. The environment suddenly changed, and the man in the gauze scarf seemed to be in a dark abyss, with the dim light flickering eerily. He was surrounded by an indescribable haze, and the air was filled with the smell of corruption and despair. This feeling is so real. The gauze scarf man trembled and said, who are you? You want to know. If you don't take it if I tell you to, you are looking down on me. Kang said with a fierce look on his face. Kang kept approaching, and his body began to wither, revealing the white bones. He said, can't you break it? You don't practice hard. Use the 10,000 soul flags as nourishment. What's the meaning? The gauze scarf man kept retreating, with a look of horror on his face. At this moment, a gust of cold and biting wind swept over without warning, bringing with it waves of low and twisted moans. It seemed that countless painful souls were struggling in the wind, looking for a gap to escape. The ground began to tremble slightly, as if something indescribable was breaking out of the ground. Suddenly, hands covered with veins and with skin as cracked as charcoal, these hands were as long as sharp claws, some were bent and deformed, or some were pale and rotten, as if they were stretching out from the abyss of hell, slowly squirming around the gauze scarf man. No, save me, I'll pick it up, I'll take it, spare me. It was too late for the scarf man to regret, Kang just looked at him quietly. In the end, the gauze scarf man was dragged underground by the pale ghost hands, and his figure gradually moved away, and finally disappeared in this world. Genjutsu. End. If you don't want to take it, forget it. I will take it. Goodbye. Kang packed up the sandpaper and pulled Little Red Riding Hood towards the slums. After they walked away, the man in the veil slumped to his knees, his life breath gone, and he was scared to death. Kang proves with facts that ordinary genjutsu can also kill people directly. Seeing the corpse, the crowd started shouting, death. Dead person. Back home, Kang and Little Red Riding Hood made waterweed and fish soup. Of course, Kang was not the one to do the cooking. Your craftsmanship is pretty good, Ama. Ahima is Little Red Riding Hood's name, but he still likes to call her Little Red Riding Hood. Kang drank the fish soup leisurely and said, I'm leaving tomorrow. Tell me where your father is. If you drop by, I'll give you a ride. Little Red Riding Hood is very familiar with Kang and knows that he is different from those bad guys. She put down the fish soup, pointed in the direction of the rain feast, and said, I miss my dad so much, but I'm not an adult yet, so I can't go in. However, I really want to go in. It would be great if I could still see Lord Crocodile. After hearing this, Kang was shocked and the fish soup in his hand spilled all over the floor. This scene made Little Red Riding Hood look puzzled. Little Red Riding Hood said, Crocodile. She actually knew that old Shaw was here. Kang was a little flustered, so he asked tentatively, Your father likes gambling, right? Zhao Hong shook her head and explained. That's not true. Abba went to find the hero. That night we met the hero at the entrance of Yuyan, and I recognized him at a glance. I admire Lord Crocodile the most. Although he is a pirate, he is a righteous pirate, so I beg my father to ask him to come forward and end the war. As long as you take action, the war will end immediately and our country can return to its past. After saying that, she looked at Kang innocently. Brother, do you know Lord Crocodile? He once. Little Red Riding Hood continued to tell the story of the sand crocodile, her eyes filled with excitement. Kang was dumbfounded and didn't know how to agree. Is this how you want to end the war? Little Red Riding Hood, aren't you cheating? Yuyan is the base camp of Baroque. Kang knows that Mr. Zero is Crocodile, but others don't know. For such a thing that might be exposed, his father is probably dead. He punched the ground hard, and Little Red Riding Hood was startled by Kang's actions. Was Little Red Riding Hood wrong? Kang didn't know. Everyone has their own hero when they were young, like Tiga, Iron Man, and Dynamic Superman. In the sea where information is closed, Crocodile, the patron saint of Alabasta, has undoubtedly become the most perfect spiritual sustenance in the heart of Little Red Riding Hood, a local. After a while, Kang calmed down and pretended to be excited. Haha. It seems that this war is about to end. And there are indeed righteous pirates in the world. Kang stood up and said sternly to Little Red Riding Hood, brother is going to the rain banquet. I can't take you with me. You wait for me here. Little Red Riding Hood still looked innocent. Are you going to find a hero? Kang did not answer, but handed her a kunai, which was engraved with straw hat and Konoha symbols and signed, Cool D Kang. This time he used his real name and also used the chakra technique, which is a marking technique that has a similar effect to luminous beads and no one can imitate it. Amma, this is for your self-defense. I will be back soon. Little Red Riding Hood happily took the kunai, as if she had gotten a novel toy, and forgot everything in an instant. Rain feast. At this time, except for some low-level agents and security guards, all other Baroque agents with some strength in Yuyan had left. At this time, this place is not so much Lao Shaw's base camp as it is a deliberate, smoke bomb. At this time, Kang turned into an agent named Mr. Xiao Dudu, but there was no information about Little Red Riding Hood's father, and there was a high probability that he was missing. To the Baroque people, it was an ant. Who can remember how many pieces of bread they had for lunch? Therefore, Kang walked towards the Yuyan underground with anger towards Crocodile. Crocodile is so unpleasant. Your fish is gone and your home is gone. I said so. Chapter 117 Mr. Wintermelon watches fishing. Rain banquet. Underground in a certain room, banana crocodile fishing spot. Banana crocodiles gather in a giant fish tank similar to an aquarium, swimming happily. Kang calmed down his bad mood and began to observe the environment. As Kang opened Sharingan, all the living creatures in the fish tank were invisible to him. In addition to banana crocodiles, there are also some other clean fish, such as wrasses and guide fish, which seem to have a symbiotic relationship with crocodiles. After looking at the environment, Kang chose a good position and started making a nest. Several barrels of specially fed minced meat were overturned. As the blood and meat entered the pool, the smell of blood immediately attracted the banana crocodiles, and they began to scramble towards the place where the blood gathered. Seeing no one around, Kang closed his eyes and prayed, silently reciting his own fishing metaphysics formula. Listen to me and thank you. Because of you, warms the 4 seasons. Afterwards, after 3 more metaphysical obeisances, he hung up the bait, opened the cage, and threw out the fishing rod. He hasn't fished in such a formal way for a long time. 2 minutes later, the fishing rod swayed and began to interface. Feeling the power coming from below, Kang sighed. There must be something to connect to when using special bait, but the probability is a bit disgusting. Kang raised the fishing rod. This is a small broken fish similar to tilapia. If it is less than 0.1, it is not a forced agreement. However, metaphysics is useful. It feels good, and it was shipped right after the first catch. At least it's not marine debris. Kang comforted himself and threw the fishing rod again. Soon the fish was floating. This time it was half a big-headed fish. The upper body was still blinking, but the lower body was already a bloody mess. Kikanti held half of the fresh fish in his hands and fell into deep thought. A dead fish speaks its truth, just picks up the pole and walks away. There should be no taboo against a half-lived fish, right? Kang shook his hair and threw the half-length fish away. Continue. Today Uranus Lousy is here and he wants to fish too. At this time, a huge crocodile head emerged from the water, and the entire swimming pool seemed to be covered with its figure. The crocodile seemed to want to climb out of the water tank. Kang narrowed his eyes, raised his chakra fist, and launched a powerful, fish-human monster boxing technique, against the banana crocodile. There is only one way for you to come up, and you are caught by me. After a meal of jingle bells and sugarcane. At this time, the door of the room suddenly opened. Mr. Xiaodudo, feed the fish, what are you doing? A Baroque billionaire pushed the door in and asked Kang, who was fishing. This is Mr. Wintermelon. He has a few encounters with Mr. Xiaodudo transformed by Kang. The two were the first Baroque agents to arrive in the rainy land. I want to try to see if I can catch banana crocodiles. Kang opened his mouth without blushing. Mr. Dongwu looked confused, but his face became interested. You want to catch banana crocodiles with a fishing rod, how is that possible? Mr. Dongwu didn't leave either, and looked at Kang fishing with curiosity. Kang was also stunned by this guy's fish-watching behavior. He seemed to be a hidden fisherman. Sure enough, the end of men is fishermen. It's rare for someone to witness the moment of their own sublimation. They just want to adjust their mood and relax their body and mind, so they are ready to do it. So Kang smiled and said, "In the fishing world, people who know me call me the Emperor of Fishing. Today I will show you what a professional fisherman is." As if in response to Kang's words, the supreme quick rod suddenly shook. Wrestling invitation. Kang felt very sure that the banana crocodile had taken the bait. This man is really his lucky star. Kang clenched the supreme fast rod in his hand, chakra condensed in his hand, and turned on the huge power mode. "Watch it, Mr. Wintermelon. My fishing technique cannot be done using basic fishing power." Mr. Dongwu was stunned for a while after hearing this. What is the power of fishing? What are the fishing skills? 18 fishes dropped. The sky ching dangling technique. Kang shouted loudly, the muscles in his arms bulged, veins loomed, chakra flowed in his hands, his legs stood firm in a horse stance, and the huge force kept pulling the fishing rod back. The wrestling value is 74%, 85%, 94%, 73%. As the struggle slowed down, Kang felt that he had almost escaped and was ready to close the net. As expected, I can hunt Poseidon like sea beasts. The bite force and strength are a bit interesting. It seems I need to be more serious. At this time, the water in the fish tank exploded, and a crocodile head suddenly appeared. With a deafening roar, the banana crocodile was completely pulled out of the water. Its huge body drew a charming arc in the air and fell heavily to the ground beside the swimming pool, stirring up a lot of water mist. Kang didn't care. When the wrestling value reached 17%, he no longer gave up his strength. He lit a cigarette and explained. Kang was fighting with all his strength against the behemoth underwater. Even though he had used his unique fishing skills, the banana crocodile still had the strength to resist. The supreme fast rod in his hand rotates at high speed, emitting light blue light, and the fishing rod rotates at high speed like a propeller. This is another banana crocodile. It seems that it wants to take advantage of people's danger and uses crush. Is this the power and skill of fishing? It seems very mysterious, and this fishing skill seems to be specially designed for wrestling. At this moment, Mr. Wintermelon was extremely excited, as if he had seen a god. The pulling force that banana crocodile exploded was so amazing, it was somehow much stronger than Mumu's. "Hey, Mr. Shoududo, get out of the way," Mr. Wintermelon shouted as a reminder, his eyes full of anxiety. At this time, the banana crocodile had no idea that Kang was playing dirty tricks. The more it struggled, the tighter the thread became. "Wake it up for me." The little crocodile is still struggling. But it is at the end of its strength. The bite force of this banana crocodile is really terrifying. Mr. Dongwu next to him opened his eyes wide without blinking. He originally thought Kang was joking, but it turned out that he was serious. I saw Kang calmly shouting, "Drop fish for 18 fishing, flying to the sky for endless fishing." The huge crocodile's head was first pulled out of the water by Kang's powerful force. It kept twisting its huge body, and water splashed down its scales. Kang looked at Mr. Wintermelon, who was full of seriousness and desire, and was ready to show off more. "Hey, Mr. Shoududo, your fish is about to escape the hook. Use your fishing power quickly." Mr. Wintermelon handed over a cigarette and hurriedly reminded. Charge value. 87%, 97%, 100%, 96%, 100%. As the banana crocodile struggled violently, water splashed all over the water in the fish tank. This is not the only thing that shocked Mr. Wintermelon. At this time, Kang actually flew up from the smoke. The giant mouth had arrived, and with a boom, where Kang was, the earth and stone floor shattered. This is a banana crocodile, a giant beast with a body length of more than 30 meters and a weight of 8,000 kilograms. Mr. Dongwu felt Kang's blue chakra and had already misunderstood something. That's right, it's flying. Every drink and peck has a certain number. This is the 18th catch for the fish. It is as stable as the old dog's catch. I will kill it first and waste its energy. No matter how hard it struggles, it can't get rid of the hook in the crocodile's mouth. Although he doesn't know what fishing power is, you take off from the same spot, and you can still use the fishing rod like this. Is this a fishing technique? After Kang finished speaking, he began to release his strength and line. Chapter 118 Mangekyo, the rain feast is destroyed. Kang was breathing heavily, but could not hide the joy on his face. It's about a 6-year-old physique, but it's enough. A strange red light flashed in his eyes, Sharingan appeared automatically, and the 3 Magatama began to spin into Mangekyo. After the Mangekyo Sharingan is turned on, in addition to the improvement in pupil power, a lot of chakra energy is fed back. Some of the Sharingan's forbidden techniques and ninjutsu memories are released as Mangekyo is activated. Itachi has achieved 60% of his complete strength. Now the only difference between him and Itachi is his eye power. Because he has no blood disease, his chakra amount is far greater than Itachi and Hokage, and his physical strength is stronger. With the physique accumulated during this period, he has probably reached Usopp level, right? Maybe. Because he has never seen Usopp's limit. And with the current burst of attack power, he believes that ninjutsu alone is no worse than any natural disaster type devil fruit. Against the group, he can cast the natural disaster level, fire style, fire extinguishing, wind release, pressure, and the ninjutsu of the Drum Kingdom level, which simply converts chakra, twice. Not to mention the skills attached to Mangekyo Sharingan, the super powerful single targets Amaterasu and Tsukiyomi as well as the partial skeleton Susanna with super defense. Mangekyo and Sanmagatama are simply not on the same level. Who else? Chi Kong shouted loudly, his voice echoing in the room. Roar. The banana crocodile that climbed ashore bit Chi Kong again without realizing it. The power of fishing. Deterrence. As Chi Kang's eyes widened, the crocodile trembled strangely, as if he had seen a terrifying illusion. His eyes reflected Sharingan's, and he lay tremblingly on the side without daring to move. How is it? Mr. Wintermelon, how are my fishing skills? Mr. Dongwood did not expect that his colleague, who was also a billionaire, hid so deeply. He almost knelt down and fell to the ground. Mr. Xiaodudo, how about teaching me fishing? I'm very interested in your fishing skills and fishing power. Chi Kangil, this guy really believes it. Then let me first let you know who I am. Chi Kong said, releasing the transformation technique. Mr. Wintermelon looked shocked again, what he saw. Asterisk at caret asterisk dollar asterisk caret. Mr. Xiaodudo turned into a long-haired man whose hair kept falling out. That's right, it keeps falling off. Chi Kang's hair is almost gone. I see. Mr. Wintermelon completely understands. This man had already replaced Mr. Xiaodudo. No wonder he felt that his colleague's behavior was so strange. Chi Kong transformed into his true form, and first instinctively touched his flowing hair. Suddenly his expression changed and he touched his hair repeatedly. A sparse moment. Chi Kong shouted in his heart. Laozi's hair started falling out again. Is it because the hair tonic can no longer suppress it, or is it because it has become stronger again? How can it be fixed? You have to find Chao Huzi to get some hair growth lotion. After all, who can have the handsomeness of Madara, who wants to wear a bald head, even if it adds a critical hit? Who are you? Mr. Dongwa has already felt that Chi Kong is extraordinary, but he is definitely an enemy. Me, no matter. Meeting by chance is fate, let me tell you something. Chi Kong flicked his long hair, debris flew into the air, and introduced himself. I, Cool D. Chi Kong, I am a fishing guy who likes to reason. Chi Kong snapped his fingers, and the banana crocodile controlled by Sharingan rushed out of the fish tank with friends. Okay, Mr. Wintermelon, seeing that you have been playing with me for a long time and even handed me cigarettes, I would like to remind you, there is no need for Yu Yan to exist today. If you want to face me, I will be here, the floor is waiting for you. After Chi Kong left, Mr. Dongwa realized what he was doing, looked at the menacing banana crocodiles around him, and ran away without looking back. Facing you, Laozi can't even defeat a crocodile. How to face it? Can I give you a shot from 800 miles away? Chi Kong came to the casino on the first floor. Using the Phoenix Sage Fire technique, he set off a firework that attracted everyone's attention. My name is Cuckoo D. Chi Kong. I have reserved the venue today. Who is in favor? Who is against? Boy, who are you? How dare you come here to cause trouble? A man in a suit said angrily. Boom. A banana crocodile with eyes reflecting Sharingan broke through the floor and came out, biting off the manager who spoke. Help. Help. Someone is ruining the place. This scene made the drunken guys finally realize that this guy was not joking, and the crowd began to disperse with shouts. Chi Kong bit his finger without haste. Psychic technique Moo, followed by the cursed seal swarming around. With a Moo sound, our lovely Moo arrived with a confused look on his face. After summoning Moo Moo, Chi Kong felt the chakra consumption in his body. Well, very few. It's this powerful feeling, Chi Kong said with a smile. Good friend. Do me a favor. Ruin this place. Momo had a look of disgust on his face, as if to say, don't you know how to do it yourself? Be good. Don't be afraid. I will protect you. Moo Moo. Is this what lousy means? Where is Chopper? Where is the bond? Moo Moo turned his grief and anger into strength, and hit the huge stone pillar with a Moo Moo iron head. What's going on? Stop it. Do you know where this is? At this time, another Baroque billionaire elder appeared, Mr. Qingshui, a strong man in physical skills. Came just in time. Chicken's Sharingan appears and transforms into Mangekyo. As the Mangekyo pattern in Chi Kang's right eye rotates sharply, the surrounding air seems to tremble. Open black lens bracket Amaterasu close black lens bracket, known as the eternal black flame. Chi Kang's right eye focused, and a black flame the size of a human head appeared on the man's body out of thin air. This is the largest fireball that Chi Kong can create now, but Amaterasu can spread through the accumulation of fire. A single spark can start a prairie fire. As long as the pupil power continues, the flame will not go out. But it hurts. It hurts. A heart-wrenching pain appeared, and Chi Kang's right eye continued to bleed. The price of power. A sizzling sound suddenly erupted from the surface of Mr. Qingshui's body, and blazing black flames immediately wrapped around him, greedily devouring everything as if they were alive. What is this? No. He kept rolling and trying to put out the fire by any means, but it was all in vain. Gradually, the entire area where Mr. Qingshui was located was enveloped in a dark flame of despair. His body was twisted and deformed under the high temperature. Wherever the tongue of pitch-black flames licked, the flesh and blood began to peel off, revealing pieces of white bones on his body. Amaterasu is still burning. Even the hard bones of the blood cows are as fragile as paper in front of Amaterasu. As time went by, Mr. Shimizu finally couldn't bear Amaterasu, leaving a scorched black ground, which proved the power of Amaterasu. Great. Amaterasu killed a minion. Kang watched all this and felt his own changes. After using open black lens bracket Amaterasu close black lens bracket, my eyesight decreased. The price is that if you use it too much, you will really go blind. Although he had expected it, he couldn't help but feel a little sad because he didn't want to try Tsukuyomi anymore. But the good news is that his blood inheritance limit can be upgraded. This is the horror of not having a limiter. The bad news is that he needs to accumulate another Mangekyo's physique. Next goal. Eternal Mangekyo, surpassing Itachi God is just around the corner. Soon after, Yuyan collapsed. In the surprised eyes of everyone in the rain, a handsome guy riding a fast lizard and holding a suitcase emerged from the smoke. The crowd of onlookers dispersed instantly. Mr. Dongwa in the crowd looked at this scene in disbelief. He really ruined the rain feast. The power of fishing. Fishing skills. I must learn it. Chapter 119. My dear brother, Arita is coming. Kang returned to the slums and found Little Red Riding Hood. When Little Red Riding Hood saw Kang, she showed the kunai in her hand and looked at him warily. Bad guy. She saw with her own eyes that Kang destroyed the rain feast, and her father and the hero were both inside. Facing such Little Red Riding Hood, Kang didn't know how to tell the truth for a while. Crocodile is not a hero, he is a villain who steals the country. Your father was also killed by Crocodile. If so, under this double blow, will Akuma collapse at such a young age? Instead of doing this, let me do it. The reason why ninjas are ninjas is because they are often forced to make cruel choices. After a while, Kang looked indifferent. Your father will never come back. It's a pity that Crocodile ran away, but it doesn't matter, I will kill him. What Kang said was ambiguous. The simple Little Red Riding Hood raised the kunai with an angry look and stabbed Kang. Kang did not dodge, with a joking look on his face. There is no way. Some people are born evil, and I like to see your weak and incompetent performance. He pointed to his Sharingan again and said, don't judge a person by appearance or subjective consciousness, see with your eyes. As soon as the words fell, Little Red Riding Hood's body suddenly got stuck in place. No matter how hard she tried, she couldn't take an inch further. Weak. You are worthless to kill. Stupid Akuma, if you want to kill me, just hate me. Then live an ugly life, keep escaping. Live an ignoble existence. Then, when you have the same strength as me, come to me. Kang Sharingan transformed into Mangekyo. Unexpectedly, the first time he used Tsukuyomi was to face a little girl. In the end, Kang chose the method of loving his brother, and repeated the scene of burning Mr. Qingshui to death in the Tsukuyomi illusion, but Mr. Qingshui was twisted into Little Red Riding Hood's father in the Tsukuyomi space. Kang gives Little Red Riding Hood a target to hate. After he tapped Little Red Riding Hood's forehead, he turned and left. It's time to go to Albana. During the day, the sun in Alabasta is scorching, and the continuous drought has left the air without a trace of moisture. Few people visit the barren desert, and the Usopp bird lies on the ground to deceive travelers passing by. At night, the temperature will drop sharply and the wind will be biting. This is a typical desert climate. At this time, in the cold desert climate of Alabasta at night, Kang endured the cold and hurried eastward to the bank of the Santala River. Crossing this river means that the distance to the goal is only half the hardship. Thank you for your hard work, Xiaoru, drink some water. Leave it to me to cross the river. Xiaoru is a fast-running lizard. It is wrapped in a blanket and sticks out its tongue to greedily lick the river water to replenish its strength. Its eyes are covered with Sharingan, and it has lost its independent personality after being hit by the Sharingan Genjutsu. Ho 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 ho. A group of very cute roadblocks appeared quietly on the river bank. They were carrying things like turtle shells, kung fu manatees. Although Kung Fu Manatee and Mumu are both manatees, they are completely two different creatures. As their name suggests, Kung Fu manatees are avid Kung Fu enthusiasts and social creatures who like to compete with others. If you cannot defeat them, you cannot cross the river. If you defeat them, according to the rules of Kung Fu Manatee, you must worship the victor as your teacher. What the hell, there are so many of them. Let's go. Kang mobilized the chakra in his body to condense on the soles of his feet, struggled to lift the running lizard and jumped into the water, running wildly. Roar. Woo. The Kung Fu Manatee chased after him from behind. The water surface around Kang surged, and two water bodies formed in an instant, blocking the manatees. Fish-man monster kick technique. Fish-man monster karate. Kang ran for a few more minutes, and a pirate ship moored in the middle of the river appeared in his field of vision. It doesn't matter if you don't look at it. Once you take a look. He suddenly braked hard. That iconic love skull pattern. This is the flag of the Alita pirates. What the hell, isn't this nonsense? While Kang was shocked, Liji, the lion on the boat, suddenly sniffed the air excitedly, and then burst out with an earth-shaking roar. It's him. Mochi, who had been dreaming of Pokémon battles, was the first to wake up when he heard his partner's roar. You mean Kang? Arita also heard the familiar name and sat up in shock, staring at Lion Licky with burning eyes and asked. Anyway, Newton's coffin board has long been pressed to death, and Kang no longer struggles with the principle. When the big catfish saw Kang and the running lizard, it immediately licked its tongue and opened its mouth wide as it likes to eat people. Arita jumped onto the bow of the ship, stared at the back of the figure who left gracefully, a creepy smile appeared on her lips, and she shouted sharply. You said that name, right? Vice Captain Lakey. After saying that, Kang jumped up, took out the supreme fast rod in his right hand, hung the bait and threw the rod skillfully, all in one go. Buggy's minions all trembled. All of the Alita pirates, listen to my orders and catch up with me. The captain is truly the paradox of Beauty and the Beast. Roar. This broken fishing rod, I threw it away in my mouth. The probability is not 100%. This fishing function was developed by Ma Wadong. As she finished speaking, she swung the big stick and smashed the fence to pieces. Arita's buggy is accelerating in an unscientific way, probably related to her slippery fruit. Kang shouted, but his footsteps did not dare to stop at all. As a result, a slender skeleton with a leg bone was fished out with a fishing rod. Yes, Miss Arita, Captain. Lousy has nothing to do with you. You actually want to eat me. ... I'm warning you not to chase me again. I haven't used your image to show off much recently. That's right. Arita chose the lion Licky as the vice captain. No one in the ship could beat a lion, and Mochi gloriously became the nanny of the vice captain Licky. He swore it was all Patty these days. Kang looked back while running. I don't know how Buggy would react if he knew the current situation. As Kang lifted the fishing rod, it felt wrong. It was not as heavy as expected. Hooked in seconds. Cuckoo D Kang, I have found you. Stop, my mother. Kang trotted all the way, but misfortunes never come singly. Kang was so angry that his teeth itched, and the flowers he had planted failed to bloom, and lousy Mangekyo came, so he queued up one by one. He actually encountered this legendary existence. Hold on, Xiaoru. I saw Liji clinging to the edge of the boat, roaring in a certain direction, pointing at the strange man holding the lizard in the turbulence and running away wildly. Mochi also sniffed the air. This familiar smell. It is indeed my defeated general. He is nearby. The huge Sundora catfish suddenly poked its head out of the water. The hook is accurately thrown into the catfish's mouth, while the fishing rod shakes. Chapter 120 Arita and Kang. Secure Asset Portal. Your trusted source for secure and informative digital assets. Register with your real phone number and get bonus just for registering. Try for free. After Kang finished complaining, he swung the pole again. At the same time, the fish monster boxing technique, 10,000 tiles, and the first meat kick. He kicked the big catfish's pea-size shut with a flying kick. I was hooked in seconds again, but the touch was still wrong. Kang pulled, following the gap in the catfish's mouth, and pulled out a clownfish that was less than 0.1 inches forcible. Kang cursed at the big catfish. Who are you calling a clown? You are looking for death. Question mark. The big catfish looked confused. After being delayed by the big catfish for a moment, the Arita pirates behind them had already caught up. Arita laughed wildly, as if Kang was already a turtle in the urn. Kang, it seems that God is going to help me. You can't escape even if you have wings. As Arita's arrogant laughter got closer and closer, Kang ran away without caring about fishing. The big catfish recovered from his confusion, saw the pirate ship, looked at Kang again, and decisively smiled at the pirate ship with a crazy smile. When you open your mouth, the dragon sucks water. Report, Captain Arita, we seem to be sucked in. Kabaji hurriedly reported on his unicycle. Arita held on to the fence and said angrily, nonsense. Isn't this obvious? Ah, jump off the ship. One of the minions took a leap of faith, and the result. Ah, Captain Arita, save me. His voice became smaller and smaller, flowing into the fish's belly along with the water. This scene made everyone else give up the urge to jump into the sea. Mochi and Liji hugged each other and trembled. Why is Captain Buggy so unlucky after all? Niche. If we don't challenge, it won't be considered a failure. Roar. After the giant catfish tasted the sweetness, it increased its suction power more and more greedily. Don't even think about the smelly catfish eating me. Arita jumped up and hit the big catfish on the head. State. The big catfish of Santala burst into tears for a moment, as if to say, I just want to eat, why are you beating me? Arita found that her strength seemed to be unable to defeat the catfish, and she looked desperately at the endless waters around her. My life is over. At this critical moment, Kang returned with the running lizard, using the hand speed he had been single for 30 years to form seals with his hands. Are you fools? Has no one ever thought of firing a cannon? Water-style water dragon bullet technique. The water dragon bullet technique uses water flow to turn into a water dragon to attack the enemy. It is a common powerful attack type water style. In addition to the 44 seals that are criticized, it is still very powerful. As Kang shouted, a water dragon quickly condensed and broke out of the water. The water dragon slammed into the giant catfish's mouth, interrupting its siphon. The big catfish was hit by the water dragon and rolled violently in the water in agony, causing huge waves to surge in all directions. Water-style water shockwave. Under Kang's control, the water flow was like a giant's arm, constantly pushing Alita's pirate ship forward. The Santara catfish regained its strength and once again pounced on the Arita pirates with eyes wide open. At this moment, two identical voices came from the water. Apprentices, hit it for me. Two water avatars emerged from the water with a group of Kung Fu manatees. The Kung Fu manatee screamed, woo woo, and punched the Centaur catfish with each blow. If one fist can't hit, what about hundreds or thousands of fists? Artificial real numbers Senju. Soon after, the huge Santala catfish was beaten so hard that it rolled its eyes and floated on its side on the sea. Kang, you can't run away. Although Arita was rescued by Kang, she was still full of anger and gnashing her teeth. Kang was not used to it and gave him a beating first. Apprentices, beat them. Following Kang's order, the Kung Fu manatees surged onto Arita's pirate ship like a torrent, causing everyone on board to flee in all directions. Captain Arita, help. Vice Captain Lakey, help. What a bunch of rubbish. Arita knocked away several Kung Fu manatees with one blow. Mochi rode Li Ji and walked out of the darkness on cat steps, his face full of confidence. Captain, leave this little thing to the vice captain and me. This evenly matched Pokémon battle is his home court. A sneer appeared on Mochi's lips, and he calmly ordered, Li Ji. Use the glare to intimidate. Then use the beast to come out of the cage. Now that he has a niche, Arita only sees scumbags. Kang coughed twice and said, Alita, I think we need to have an in-depth exchange of ideas. Arita looked at the three Kang boarding the ship, her eyes filled with astonishment. Why are there three cool Kang? Who are you? To prevent the world from being destroyed. Arita's shark teeth flashed. I'm disgusted by the fact that I don't have time to pose. Do you think I'm stupid? Hearing this, the three of them looked at each other in tacit understanding. On this occasion, we are Team Rocket traveling across the galaxy. Kang smiled awkwardly and explained, it was just a temporary idea, I'm sorry. Are they all fake? Kang raised his hand, made a stop gesture, and said seriously, I have very important things to do, and I can't waste time here. Kang was startled and took a few steps back. In exchange, you must leave this country immediately and stop pestering me. Kang feels that there is Patty Dabo anyway, and his deterrence is not bad. Since you asked the question sincerely. To protect world peace. Patty Big Wave, a cute and charming villain who embodies love and true evil. White hole, a white tomorrow awaits us. She suddenly burst into flames, and with one blow, Patty's body was turned into water. Everything you told me in Rogue Town. Arita's face turned completely dark because Kang's words made her feel betrayed. However, after hearing Kang's words, Arita on the other side felt angry for no reason. The momentum this guy just exploded with is so strong. The two water avatars used their transformation skills to transform into Patty Dabo and Albero, and then performed iconic classic poses. So be it, I solemnly swear to you that this is the last time I will use your image. At this time, Arita's face was so dark that she looked like her and added as who was neither male nor female. Is this a happy combination? She pressed forward step by step, holding the mace tightly in her hand, and every word seemed to be squeezed out from between her teeth. What do you take me for? You play with my image at will. Have you ever considered my feelings? This is all your ability, right? What on earth are you going to do? Cool D. Kang. Arita waved her big stick and wanted to beat Kang violently. I thought you were a light. I didn't expect it was just a farce. Why is there such a big reaction? Tell me. The mace in her hand was pointed at Kang, and she said word by word, let's duel. Either you die or I die. Kang didn't expect that someone would give him a chance to finish his lines. As expected, Arita and Nami were different. Then I will tell you with great mercy. Kang raised his hands and said, that's right. That's it. Albero. Chapter 121 The Big Liar Kang, Albana. Cuckoo D Kang. You die. Arita swung the stick towards the water clone, Albero, with a speed that even the water clone couldn't understand. The clone didn't even have time to react, and instantly turned into water splashes all over the sky. What's even more frightening is that the mace continued unabated and split the buggy pirate ship in half. The eyes of Kung Fu Manatee and all the crew members were bulging out, and they were dumbfounded. With this attack, was it so difficult to fight the big catfish just now? Could it be that Captain Arita is pretending to be a pig and eating the tiger? Mochi and Kabaji hid behind Lion Licky. Vice Captain, what's going on? I'm so scared when Miss Arita is like this. I miss Captain Buggy. Roar. Li Ji growled in response, obviously unable to answer this question. Kang looked at the red-eyed Arita and couldn't help but take a breath. Thousands of horses galloping in my heart. What kind of light am I? White moonlight. I used to be, but now I have money. What is Arita talking about? I don't use your image, are you still angry? What are you doing? And what's going on with the combat power of people in the pirate world? Is the power of emotions so abnormal? Is this what Kurokas calls the explosion of will? Isn't Arita aware of the weapon color? Is this reasonable? Moreover, now Arita is obviously determined to fight to the death. What should we do? Kang's mind was racing. Then you can only use this trick. Go away. Kang is starting to show off. Kang closed his eyes and let out a sigh, and then a calm and firm voice sounded. Arita, I'm sorry. If possible, I still want to spread the truth, goodness and beauty in your heart to the sea. That was one of my goals when I went to sea. But, the experience in Rogue Town made me feel your deep resentment towards me. I thought you had denied me and your past self. In reflection afterwards, I also realized that my behavior may indeed be inappropriate and may have made you feel disgusted and disgusted. Obviously you no longer feel inferior, obviously you have become so beautiful, obviously you have given up the skin you once had, but I am still doing these meaningless things. That's why I decided to give up this dream. One day, the sea will surely sing about your current beauty. Let the past you drift away in the wind. After speaking, Kang bowed deeply. I apologize for everything I did to your body. Sorry. Arita lowered her head and stared at Kang in front of her. His frank attitude and affectionate words made the anger in her heart gradually subside. Confusion flashed in her eyes, and then she fell into deep thinking, with a complicated light shining in her eyes. Is everything you said true? Arita's tone softened. Kang replied without hesitation, it's absolutely true. Arita was puzzled. There is actually a man's dream, to let his ugly and fat self out of his inferiority complex and let the world discover his inner truth, goodness and beauty. That ugly me, the disgusting me who has a twisted personality due to low self-esteem. Are there really people who give silently like this? At this time, Arita, a native of Donghai, the Sea of Dreams, was a little moved. But, she still felt something was wrong. What's going on with Patty Big Bow? Kang was silent for a moment and then said, that's how I got into Baroque works, codenamed Ms. Singles Day. That's all I can say. Something big is happening in this country. You'd better leave as soon as possible. After saying that, Kang ran away without looking back. Now, Arita was temporarily shocked by herself. However, if you say too much, you will be wrong. If you find any clues, you may have to eat conquerors. After Kang left, Arita's mood became more complicated. On the one hand, she doubted whether she had misunderstood the other party, and on the other hand, she felt a little disappointed because Kang gave up her dream. Mochi cowered and hid behind Liji, and asked cautiously, "Ya, Captain Yalita, should we pursue or leave?" Kabaji reminded from the side, I think what that guy said is true. There is indeed a mysterious force controlling this country. How about we withdraw? Mochi nodded in agreement. Yes, yes. Kabaji is right. There is drought and concentrated rain all over the country. No matter how you look at it, there is a conspiracy. Not to mention that this is still the territory of the 7 warlords of the sea. Let's go find Buggy quickly. The treasure is here. It's our favorite. Buggy. You actually called me by my real name. Don't I want to lose face? Arita listened to their discussion, her original confusion gradually dissipated, and she began to be inclined to believe Kang's words. At least it's true that there's a problem here. In that case, I want to see what kind of tricks they are playing. Facing the badly damaged ship, she decisively ordered, young men, prepare the boat to go to Albana. Arita looked at the direction Kang left and murmured. If you lied to me, I will hammer you into a pulp. Kang trembled for no reason as he left. Have you had too much fun recently? In the early morning, under the desolate moonlight, the royal capital Albana appeared on the horizon. At this time, Albana was bustling with people and still bustling and lively. Thank you for your hard work, Xiaoru. I know you don't like the salary. Goodbye. Kang looked at the running lizard without looking back and reluctant to leave, and felt moved. It's very peaceful. Didn't Crocodile come? Did the young lady lie to me? Psychic art. Dumb. Dark Crow, tell Nami and the others that I have arrived at Albana. The towering city wall, this tall and historic city wall tells the long history of Albana. Kang swaggered into Albana. He was walking on a busy street and walked into a restaurant unconsciously. Boss, let's have a desert barbecue, add more cactus, and a glass of sea buckthorn juice. Kang raised his hand to order, and everyone came, and he was not allowed to check in for travel. Suddenly Kang's ears moved, and the ninja's habits allowed him to catch a hint of the situation. Smoker and cute Dusky, why are they here? Dusky took a sip of hot tea and said, Colonel Smoker, why do you think the Straw Hats will come to Albana? Smoker pillowed his face and said casually, Kaido, a man's intuition really made me guess right. But, Smoker pondered for a while and said, the king of Alabasta said that Vivi was kidnapped. I always find it strange. Dasky adjusted her glasses. She also felt that Zoro's guys were not such people, but as her immediate boss said, pirates are pirates. I must take back that guy's famous sword. At this moment, Dasky was still thinking about Zoro's knife. Fall in love and kill each other. Chapter 122. Are you kidding me? Smoker and Dusky were chatting. Tina's tired figure appeared in the tavern. She had just wiped Smoker's butt. The king of Alabasta, Cobra, issued an ultimatum and ordered Marine to evacuate Alba before tomorrow. Tina looked at Smoker and saw that he didn't intend to move. There was a helpless smile on her lips. Tina thinks Smoker is not far away from writing a resignation report. Then she blew out circles of smoke, with a hint of playfulness in her words. Tina is really curious. What kind of magic power does the Straw Hats have that allows you to ignore marine regulations and do whatever you want? Tina's curiosity is not groundless. Smoker's persistence in Straw Hat seems to go beyond duty and reason. If I didn't know that this guy was a straight man, I would have thought that he was gay, and I wouldn't know why this guy was biting this guy and wouldn't let go. Smoker lit the cigar coolly, ignoring his friend's words and looking indifferent. Anyway, I'm a thorn in the side of Marine, and my popularity is not good, so I'll probably quit. He is the only one who just can't let go of his obsession with Straw Hat. Smoker might not be able to tell clearly, but after seeing the Straw Hat Boy's iconic smile, he was sure that it was his lifelong enemy. While the two bosses were talking, Dasky glanced at Kang not far away, and an inexplicable feeling of familiarity came to her heart. Hey, are you not a local? Have we met somewhere? Dasky's question caught Kang off guard. Why are you paying attention to me? I'm still collecting information. However, Kang believed that he had not met Dasky too much in his original image, and now he was not completely bald, and he was wearing a large desert costume. This woman still had doubts about him. Women's intuition is indeed terrible. Kang was eating meat, his mouth was stuffed, and he puffed out his cheeks and said, "No, it's just a green man, I'm just a passerby." "Really? Why do you feel so familiar to me?" Dasky pushed up her glasses with a silly look on her face, trying to observe more carefully. After a moment, she smiled apologetically and looked away. Just as Kang breathed a sigh of relief, two familiar voices came from outside the store. "Nami here. I smell the smell of meat. Kang must be here." "Are you an idiot? Don't yell. Why do you have to follow me?" Dumb. The dark crow seemed to have discovered something, but it did not fly above Nami's head. The little clever ghost Luffy quickly came to the seat at the bar and started ordering next to Smoker. Kang was just about to take people away quietly, but when he saw this scene, he spurted out a mouthful of juice. "Are you kidding me? This idiot Luffy, finished." "Luffy. Sister, come and get the water first." The waiter looked confused. "Are you sure you want to use a bucket?" Luffy nodded wildly. "That's right. The cup is too small, it's better to drink from a bucket." So, Luffy held the bucket and started filling the water, while Smoker next to him didn't even recognize this funny guy, and still disliked Tina for getting in the way. Luffy's aura is so scary. "It's delicious. It's delicious. Boss, serve the meat." "How much? How much?" Luffy said inarticulately. Nami said angrily. "Idiot Luffy. Our mission is to find Kang first, and then defeat Crocodile." These words instantly attracted the guys on the side. Luffy, Crocodile. Tina and Smoker turned their heads at the same time and looked at these two idiots. PFF'd. Luffy spurted out a mouthful of water, and the atmosphere suddenly became strangely quiet. "Nami, hurry." Luffy turned around to remind Nami, but found that she had disappeared, leaving only the swinging door panel and a few falling black feathers. Nami had already slipped away. When it comes to escapability, Usopp is first and Nami is definitely second. "Ah, Nami, why didn't you wait for me?" Luffy just reacted, swallowed the food in one gulp, and ran away. "You can't run away. Straw Hat. Bye man." Smoker turns into smoke and grabs Luffy straight away. "I don't want to fight you. Smoker." Luffy used shaving to run away directly, but Smoker's smoke turned around like a maggot attached to a bone. Marine 6 type. Tina was a little surprised, and she also took action. At the landing point where Luffy appeared, black iron rods were cut down. "What is this?" The idiot Luffy looked at the sky with a puzzled expression, as if he wanted to test the poison on himself. Water-style water barrier. At this time, a figure appeared, and the water rose into the sky, overturning the black sticks and protecting Luffy, the idiot. "Ninjutsu. Chicken. You are indeed here. Awesome." Luffy grabbed Kang and shook him, and with a bang, Kang turned into a fart. "Nani. Clone technique. So powerful." Luffy looked like there was no one around. Kang wanted to run away, it was so embarrassing. "However, I am so happy that you praised me." Tina suddenly shrank her eyes, warning of danger. At this moment, an evil hand grabbed her, accompanied by a demonic voice. "Want to run?" It's too late. Water-style water prison technique. A ball of water immediately enveloped Tina. Gulu. Tina's body was completely wrapped in a water ball, and the weakness of the Devil Fruit's ability was immediately exposed. Immersing more than 70% of the body in ordinary water can also cause the effect of seawater. In a flash of lightning, Colonel Tina of Marine Headquarters, Black Prison, was charged. "Tina, Colonel Tina." Smoker immediately looked at Kang, his face full of anxiety. "It's him. The Devil Ninja." Zhangao immediately recognized Kang's identity and almost dropped his love glasses to the ground. "Who is this?" Iron Fist Hobody looked confused and felt that these people seemed familiar. Kang held up the water balloon, kept getting closer to Luffy, and glanced around. "Hey. Are they all acquaintances? I have a hostage now." At this moment, Smoker suddenly realized. "It turns out it's you, Magic Witch Arita. This is your true face, isn't it? You guess. Do you think Kang is angry? Let Tina go, otherwise." Smoker was about to get angry. "Okay, I don't have time to have S*X with you anymore. This woman probably won't last long." Kang interrupted him directly and said, "I said, listen. We can communicate, otherwise your old sweetheart dies, don't blame me." At this moment, the Kingdom Guard arrived. Kang was dumbfounded. Because the leader is the booger man, Mr. 5. How could it be Mr. 5? Just listen to Mr. 5 shouting, "Catch the Straw Hats." Luffy looked panicked and ran away. "Oh, it's over. We've been discovered. Run, Kang." Kang was stunned, decisively threw Tina away and ran away. What is going on in this world? What did I miss? Chapter 123 Situation, Joy before the decisive battle. In an oasis on the edge of Albana, in the basement of Ikarem's manor. Vivi finished talking to Kang about the current situation in the royal capital. Kang was stunned when he heard this, and his surprise was like a torrential river. In short, he was still in a state of astonishment. It turned out that with Cobra hiding, Crocodile sneaked into the palace with his special agent team, setting off a bloody storm. Fortunately, the Ikaram couple survived because they went out shopping. Now Xiao Feng has turned into Cobra and plays the trick of occupying the magpie's nest. Crocodile asked the king's army that was attacking the Rain Land to stand still for the time being, and pointed the finger at Catlin Town, allowing that Utopia plan to continue in disguise. The main goal of Lao Shabing's dangerous move was to force Cobra to show up. After hearing this, Chi Kong felt dizzy, thinking about the real and fake king. Is this a copy of Wuji country? Moreover, he knew with all his asterisk that once the king's army went out to provoke a civil war, with Cobra's bad good character, he would definitely use the mantis as a chariot, and then be discovered by Lao Sha and beheaded. From another perspective, if you look at it this way, Lao Sha's plan did not fail. Damn it, does Lao Sha have such a big idea? He is truly a desert conspirator. Chi Kong quickly adjusted his emotions and looked at the worried Vivi. He knew that time was pressing and there was no need to delay, so he said. Then, let's get straight to the point and start formulating a battle plan. Upon hearing this, everyone stopped what they were doing and gathered around. The name of the battle is Defeat the Sand Crocodile and Capture Robin Chan alive. Chi Kang's voice fell and he began to speak freely. Vivi was the first to bear the brunt. Crocodile's conspiracy is still going on. My father will definitely step forward to stop the civil war. I must expose his true face beforehand. It seems that Vivi also knows about her father's urinary properties. Luffy was always enthusiastic and said excitedly, Vivi, leave the fight to us. I will definitely beat Crocodile away. Chi Kong nodded, this is what Luffy is good at. Zoro also expressed his opinion, rarely agreeing with Luffy's view. Vivi, you don't have to worry, as long as you defeat them, everything will be over. Leave the sword man to me. Swordman specifically refers to Mr. 1, the nickname given by Zoro. Sanji's nostrils were filled with smoke. Leave Mr. 2 to me, I will beat him until he gives you benefits. He was still thinking about that. As a result, there is no doubt that Sanji was beaten by Nami and Vivi. And Nami has set her sights on Chi Kong, and has the urge to take action if her expression is wrong. Chi Kong said it was none of my business. The serious atmosphere was taken away by Sanji, and the relaxed atmosphere returned. Chi Kong coughed twice and said, then Usopp and Chopper are responsible for Mr. 4 and M's Merry Christmas. You are the most suitable. Usopp believed in Chi Kang's intelligence, but if he was asked to fight a cadre, he would have no virtue or ability. Compared to Usopp's pessimism, Chopper looked serious. You have protected my faith. I also want to protect my partner's country. Chopper is awesome. Can Dark Crow lend it to us? Usopp asked shamelessly. Dark Crow wants to accompany Nami, she has other tasks. Upon hearing this, Usopp immediately felt the urge to get sick. Don't worry, Usopp, I can produce a few more shadow clone. Chi Kong said. Then, Chi Kong looked at Nami and Vivi. Nami, Dark Crow and Vivi's target is Ms. Two Fingers. Of course, it doesn't matter if they can't beat her. Let's go to the club, right? By the way, Nami has other tasks. After everyone discussed other details, the battle plan was initially completed. In short, just rush in and fight until you reach the palace square, and you have to be fast. Vivi bowed deeply. Please, friends. You must save my country. Chopper, Nami and Usopp all felt the same way, and their hometowns were all saved by their partners. Especially Usopp, seeing Vivi like this, an inexplicable feeling rose from the bottom of his heart. Don't worry, Vivi, let's eat. Luffy started to shout. At this time, a rough female voice came from the kitchen. Leave the cooking to me. This is the friendship of the landlord. I wish you a triumphant return. Eating is the most leisurely and relaxing time for everyone. At this moment, no one feels nervous that a war is about to break out. Luffy kept stuffing food like a hungry wolf, and couldn't help but praise, it's delicious. It's delicious. The mayor is actually cooking it himself. When Sanji heard this, he raised his eyebrows and immediately scolded, rubber idiot. That's the wife of Ikaram. Ms. Taragoden, she is a woman. I don't know why Sanji attaches great importance to the gender of men and women, so he must let Luffy know clearly. Dr. Chopper, hair tonic, give me hair tonic. Give it to me. Chi Kong grabbed Chopper and shook him for a while, and it was about to start a battle. Isn't it inappropriate to become bald? Chauba's eyes dodged and he hesitated to say, ah, Chi Kong, the hair tonic is gone. I have to go back to the ship to make some more. At this time, Nami showed a sly smile, acted like a profiteer, and said, Kokoyasi's Oranges sells hair growth lotion, RMB 500,000 bottle, no bully, purchase limit is 10 bottles, it's in stock right now. Usopp pointed at Nami and started to accuse. Devil, Nami is the devil, Chi Kong, we need to boycott. The existence of this store is a stumbling block to the exploitation of our freedom. Chi Kong casually opened the suitcase, and nearly 100 million Baileys of banknotes were shining brightly. He threw out a handful of banknotes like a wealthy pirate king. I am so willful. Zoro looked at the wealthy man with envy on his face. Where did you get so much money? Sure enough, Lu Zoro knows himself well. Now Chi Kong just lacks an exclusive BGM. It's a pity that the Straw Hats don't have musicians yet. Others gathered around and commented on Sha Kai, which greatly satisfied the angler's vanity. This is the devil's killerfish. Alabasta's sacred object, the devil's killerfish of sand. It is the symbol of rain. Ahem. Nami, I still like your unruly look. Yuyan is a casino. The highlight moment of the fisherman. This fish is not for sale. You are allowed to look at it, but not to touch it. Chi Kong said firmly. I want a loan, husband. Damn it. Why did the Dark Crows rebel? Then, he patted the full box and shouted. After beating Crocodile, I'll treat you to a treat. Let's have a feast for 3 days. Then we will divide the remaining money. The king of every session has worked hard to get one. Now it was actually placed in front of her eyes. Are these guys really pirates? The preparation for all this is just for this moment. Local Tira Gotham recognized this fish at a glance. The moment the lid of the fish bucket was opened, everyone's eyes focused on it. Don't be stupid, Nami. The Yuyan Casino is now afraid of my gambling skills and has closed down. So, Nami said. Kokoyasi's oranges, tears of sale, explosive talisman, knife oil, shoe polish, whatever, all at 30% off, just for one day. The corners of Nami's mouth turned up with an expression of relief. It's so easy for a fool to make money. I'm not on the wrong boat. Ninja is invincible. Vivi looked surprised. Ikaram and his wife looked at the straw hats and wiped the cold sweat from their foreheads. Here comes a divine assist. ... Everyone cheered. The fishing guy is awesome. Everyone cheered again and started shopping like crazy to replenish their fighting strength. It's a decisive battle. It's not well written. It made everyone laugh, and some of them were shocked. Going deep into the hinterland of Laosha, it's all worth it. Nami took out a small cloth bag and held up a sign to remind a rich man. Sold in the front row is special fishing bait, 20,000 Bailey's piece, 12 pieces in stock. Kai Kong tossed Nami a wad of belly. Shi Kong threw out a Bailey, completed the shameful deal with Nami, and added some shuriken and kunai by the way. After everyone was attracted by the money, Shi Kong mysteriously picked up a fish bucket and carefully placed it next to the suitcase filled with Bailey. Nami is so beautiful. Magic Madaka. Shi Kong shrugged triumphantly, took out a piece of chocolate and put it in his mouth, and said to Nami, whose eyes were full of Pele. Chapter 124 Target. Sand Crocodile. In the royal capital of Albana, 5 towering gates stand in the 5 directions of west, southwest, south, southeast and east. There are long ladders extending downward from the 5 city gates. Each step up is like a pilgrimage to royal power and history. However, at this time, Albana was enveloped in an atmosphere of unprecedented tension. Due to the appearance of the Straw Hat Group and the expedition of the Royal Army, the entire city has implemented semi-military management, and the air is filled with a depressive atmosphere. Our protagonists, the Straw Hats, have quietly appeared in front of Albana's 5 long staircases. They were divided into 5 teams and chose to enter from each door at the same time. Their opponents are different, but they all have a common goal: Palace Square, Sand Crocodile. Simon. A wave of Princess Vivi is approaching. The soldiers of the king's army looked at each other with confusion and surprise in their eyes. Miracle. Even Mr. Five and Ms. Valentine who stayed here were dumbfounded by this sudden vision. Of course, if someone observes carefully, there are actually no footprints except for one Vivi, the clone technique. Fifth brother. What should I do? Ms. Valentine looked at this nonsense scene and looked at a loss. Mr. Five looked solemn and said, Ms. Valentine's Day, is there a possibility that guy is here? Ms. Valentine's pupils shrank, as if she thought of something terrible, and she looked around nervously. If it's that pervert, we shouldn't be hit by hypnosis, right? After Ms. Valentine said this, she shivered instinctively, and indescribable fear spread in the hearts of the two of them. Southwest Gate. Usopp and Chopper took Vivi to the stairs. Usopp started to shock, and shouted at the wall on the stairs. Captain Usopp is telling you. Your Princess Vivi is in my hands. Those who know how to deal with it, get out of here. Otherwise, my 80 million men will destroy the city immediately. Chopper, our innocent mascot, looked shocked and said, Ah, do we still have so many friends? Only the lovely Dr. Chopper believed it. Usopp's bragging did not intimidate normal people, but ignited the anger of his enemies. All in all, the results are pretty much the same. I saw Mr. Four, Ms. Merry Christmas and the dog Rasu leading a group of menacing King's troops and rushing out with angry faces. Straw Hats, you can't escape. Run, Chopper. As soon as Usopp finished speaking, there was wind at his feet and he ran all the way. Leave the guys behind. South Gate. Lord Daz Bones, the whereabouts of the Straw Hats and Princess Vivi have been discovered. A guard ordered. Daz Bonus is Mr. One's real name, and now he is a serious guy. Roronoa Zoro, I know you. Mr. One looked at Zoro and Vivi who came in openly, showing a trace of cruelty. Southeast Gate. Vivi, Nami, Murkrow hides in black robes. Lift the mask. This is a wartime regulation and we need to register our identities. The king's army lined up the guys with hidden facial features one by one, and next to them stood a busty hedgehog woman, Ms. Two-Finger, Zala. The good news is that there is really only one enemy here, and the bad news is that this person is Mr. One's partner and is very powerful. Murkrow. Use smoke. Dumb. The dark crow emerged from Nami's chest, and a stream of smoke erupted from his mouth, instantly covering everyone. Tiano clone technique. Vivi and Nami transformed into tall, short, fat and thin clones and ran all the way, directly past Ms. S fingers and ran towards the entrance of the alley. Ms. raised her fingers and smiled disdainfully, can you run away? East Gate. At this time, Luffy, Sanji and Vivi walked into the East Gate with a leisurely expression. Their targets were Mr. 2 and Lao Sha in the palace. Guarding here are Mr. 3, Golden Week, and Buggy the Clown. Equals degree D degree equals. Wait, there is something strange mixed in, right? What the hell is Buggy the Clown? Here is the story that the 4 emperors and the emperor's deputy have to tell. Lord Gal Tino found traces of Straw Hat Boy and Princess Vivi. The guard reported. What? When Mr. 3 saw that it was a Straw Hat Idiot, he had a lewd smile on his face. Last time, the design of the Candle Champions Cup was not perfect. This time I finally gave me a chance to make up for my mistakes. Mr. 3 smiled evilly at Buggy the Clown. Idiot Clown. We're so lucky, we can finally get our revenge. Let them see our new robot combo. Your split fruit, combined with my candle shape, and Ms. S golden wheat coloring, this is simply the most perfect art. Buggy's body was split with joy, and he nodded in agreement. Ha ha ha. Straw Hat Boy, right. I've been waiting for this day for a long time. Click, click. Ms. Nod on the senbei during Golden Week and rolled her eyes. Why do you feel that Mr. 3's IQ dropped quickly when he was with this idiot? Is this really okay? Neighborhood near Palace Square. Marine prepared to leave under Tina's command. At this time, Dasky came to report. Colonel Smoker, the figure of the Straw Hat Boy appears at the east gate. After hearing this, Smoker threw away his cigar and chose that man without hesitation. Dongman, I must catch him this time. Tina on the side looked unhappy. Hey, Smoker, stop. However, in response to Tina, Smoker left without looking back. Looking at Smoker fading away, Tina's face turned dark. Ha, man. At this time, the Crouching Dragon and Phoenix Chicks appeared, holding flowers in their hands and saying with nymphomaniacal expressions, Colonel Tina. This is our freshly picked Liang Qi. Get out. Tina doesn't want it. Tina still has the same formula and the same taste. And the two perverts took this abuse as love. I have to say, Sanji, your opponent is here. Tina waved her hand and ordered, follow Smoker. Royal Palace. Crocodile stood on the roof of the palace and looked at the square. He took a deep breath of his cigar with no expression on his face. A large number of middle and high-level generals from the king's army gathered here, and Mr. 2 transformed into Cobra and was taking the oath. Now with just one order, the king's troops from all over Alabasta can march south. Cobra, who loves his people like his own son, it's time for you to come out, right? At this time, Baroque's agents disguised as the king's army came to report, and the information left Lao Sha confused. Vivi appears in all directions. This made Crocodile instantly think of a person, or a transvestite. Patty Big Bow, think you can get my head by following the ants. Nico Robin, who was lazy at the side, opened his eyes, showed a strange smile, and said, it's just as you expected, boss. I found Cobra's location. He came from the direction of the royal mausoleum. Crocodile wore a villain smile and said, everything is going according to plan, so let's start quickly. Time is a little tight. Nicole Robin said meaningfully, haha, they must have never imagined that entering Albana would be equivalent to stepping into a death trap. You are really cautious, Mr. Zero. In the end, even I will be killed. Chapter 125 The Growing Mr. 5 and Michita. Albana, near Simon Gate. A small pink wooden boat is windless and autonomous, gliding on the vast sea of golden sand. Vice Captain. A little to the left. A soft, silky voice sounded softly, carrying a majesty that could not be ignored. Hearing the numbing sound, Lion Liji turned around reluctantly. Under the sun, Captain Arita held a monocular and seemed to be looking for something. Unicycle Buggy on the side looked puzzled. Captain Arita, what are we doing here? Aren't we going to find Captain Buggy? Arita frowned slightly and replied in an unquestionable tone, don't make any noise. Both of you, hurry up and find me Cool D. Kong. Isn't the vice captain going to challenge that crow? I'll satisfy him. Arita found a lame excuse. Roar. Animal tamer, Mochi carefully translated. The vice captain said that Examen has a strong smell of an old enemy. Examen at this time. Bald idiot. Ms. Valentine pointed at Vivi. The guys here are all you. Her female intuition made her sure. A group of Vivi's eyes turned into Sharingan, and they said in unison, I've been discovered, Michita. You actually know it's me, how dare you come here? Michita looked confident. We have discovered the weakness of your eyes. You can't be hypnosis from this distance, and as long as you don't look into those eyes, you won't be hypnosis. Mr. 5 caressed his sunglasses, he was a ruthless person and didn't talk much. He took out a knife and shaved off his head, showing his determination. Stop talking nonsense, Ms. Valentine's Day. Let him see us become stronger. Good. Bald idiot. Go to hell. Michita jumped up and used the preparation before using her signature skill, Lu Foley. Exploding flying needles. At the same time, fifth brother fired dense hair towards Kang. Kang's mouth twitched. I'm not a crazy person, I'm Kang. And I'm not bald anymore. Forget it, do whatever you want. Let me see your growth. Kang formed a seal with his hands and shouted. Wind escaped great breakthrough. The strong wind swept across, blowing back all the sharp hair pins. Boom boom boom. Mr. 5 ate a lot of himself and became trapped in a cocoon. And Ms. Valentine's Day's offensive followed one after another, but her lowered eyes in the air seemed to be afraid of something. Kang looked up at the welfare for a while. He was wearing green today. When apologizing, it is basic etiquette to show your underwear. Now that you've apologized, just be gentle. Michita felt something and shouted violently. Bald idiot, where are you looking? Die for me. 20,000 kilograms, one strike from the sky. With a bang, Kang released his transformation, stroked his hair, and shouted. Hey, look carefully, Michita, who is the bald one? If you call me bald head again, I will sue you for slander. Chi Kang's voice was mixed with sullenness, and Michita's eyes couldn't help but curiously move towards Chi Kang's head. Mouth, nose, rotating red eyes, and finally a noble Uchiha hairstyle. Hey, why isn't he bald? Michita suddenly felt stiff all over. It's this trick again. Move. You can't move. You are despicable. You are so perverted. Chi Kang shook his flowing hair and turned sideways to avoid the free-falling blow. Boom. How innocent. Michita. Chi Kang turned around and picked up Ms. Valentine from the pit. Mikita, with your strength, how can you find the courage to attack me? Have you forgotten the fear of being dominated by a bald head? At this time, Mr. Five's voice came from the smoke. Hey, baldhead, have you forgotten my existence? Let her go. Hearing the sound, Chi Kang looked at Yanshin and said angrily, which one of us is bald? Are you blind? Can't you see my beautiful hair? In the smoke and dust of the explosion, Mr. Five rushed out unscathed. He has high resistance to explosions and can be directly swallowed by flames. This fruit is actually very powerful. At this time, Mr. Five put on a pair of deep light sunglasses. These glasses were specially treated to blur his vision of the environment. This is specially prepared for Chi Kang. Chi Kang was stunned and said with a smile. You are indeed blind. Do you think this kind of thing can block Sharingan's genjutsu? Let me feel the pleasure. Mr. Five. Chi Kang shook his hair and sounded like the invincible villain Uchiha. Mr. Five clenched his teeth, took a deep breath, slapped his chest, and a strong wind spurted out blood. Red wind breath blood explosive bomb. Dense blood arrows and breathing bombs are coming. This attack affected the king's army and even his teammates who were watching here. There is only endless hatred in Mr. Five's eyes, and his eyes are burning with the flame of revenge. Chi Kang smiled slightly and threw Michita away. Boom, boom, boom. The explosion surrounded Chi Kang. Only, the scene changes. As expected, still not working, Mr. Five murmured to himself. As soon as he finished speaking, Mr. Five fell forward, and Chi Kang appeared behind him, holding a knife. You are already very strong. These sunglasses are quite good for me, but... Sorry, I'm a ninja. After Chi Kang gave him a hug, he praised Mr. Five without hesitation. Then, he stepped on him, and a kunai appeared in his hand. Then, next is the pirate's revenge. Chi Kang began to take out fruits one by one. If this devil fruit could be obtained and given to Usopp, wouldn't it be an inexhaustible source of explosive energy? Feeling Chi Kang's murderous intent, Michita released the restraining technique, held her bruised arm, stood up slowly, gritted her teeth and said, Idiot. Stinky bald head, let go of fifth brother. You actually called me bald. Chi Kang scratched the kunai in his hand, and Mr. Five's back instantly opened a hole, and he began to collect blood in bottles and jars. Let go of Mr. Five. The perverted bald idiot, Michita insisted. You actually called me bald. Chi Kang pointed at Michita, raised the knife and cut another wound on Mr. Five's body. The king's army present was stunned. Are you kids? Is it fun? Let him go. You perverted lunatic. Michita no longer calls her bald, but she can't give up the title of pervert. This is already a step back for her. Chi Kang pointed to his forehead again. I have such a rich and handsome hairstyle. Do you think I am a pervert? Do you have any discernment? At this scene, the surrounding king's army and civilians were dumbfounded again. Brother, are you sure you're not here to show off your hair? When others say anything, you always point to your hair. At this time, Michita's chest rose and fell violently. For Xiao Wu, I endure it. She took a final deep breath and showed the iconic smile of an idol magazine girl. Cuckoo di Chi Kang. I was wrong. I will never call you a pervert or a baldhead again. Your melancholy long hair and cold eyes all prove that you are a handsome guy, and you are my idol like the lover of my dreams. If possible, I would like to have you as my boyfriend. As she said that, Michita put on a shy expression like the little girl next door, and Chi Kang looked at her in a daze. Charming. Charming. Who can bear this? Chi Kang kicked Mr. Five away. That's a good compliment. I'm very busy today. I'll make an appointment next time. Isn't it just an exploding fruit? Usopp doesn't need this thing at all. Chi Kang looked at the onlookers of the king's army, flicked his long hair, took out a mace from nowhere, and shouted. What are you looking at? Have you never seen an idol? Or do you also want to dance? Let's look at it again and let you know who is the most beautiful woman in the sea. The crowd of onlookers and the king's army instinctively took a step back. For some reason, this mace put a lot of pressure on them. At this time, a voice came from the sky. Cuckoo di Chi Kang. Get over here. Chi Kang raised his eyes and trembled when he saw the person coming. I haven't used it yet.